is a live presentation of CBC Sports. Picture Alberta in all its glory, the splendor of the foothills in the waning weeks of the summer. Wait a minute. This is Alberta on Labor Day. The Battle of Alberta kicks off our doubleheader, and there's nothing serene about the Labor Day Classic. The Eskimos have a young Dunnigan in Chris Vargas. The question, do the Stampeders have the horsepower without Doug Flutie? They deputize sophomore Jeff Garcia, and Calgary's still got the sponge, who's been soaking everything up. Labor Day in Toronto. OB's back. Will the Argos be okay? The pinball keeps bouncing on an offense that keeps going tilt. The Argos have the talent. Can OB get everybody pulling together? Remember the Alamo. The Texans come north, guns a-blazing. Saunders beats the path to the goal line on the ground. Stand by for action. It's Labor Day on CBC. It's the Labor Day Classic on a gorgeous day for football in Calgary. McMahon Stadium filling to the brim for the Battle of Alberta this afternoon. On this day, in this province, football becomes the measure of two very competitive cities. Calgary versus Edmonton. It's the Stampeders and the Eskimos in Game 1 of our Labor Day doubleheader. Coming right up after this one, we'll take you to Toronto for the Argos and the San Antonio Texans. The 35th annual Labor Day Classic, and at the center of this game, a young Jeff Garcia filling Doug Flutie's big shoes.
I believe that I can step in. I believe that I've learned a lot within the system. I've learned a lot from Doug, and I'm surrounded by some tremendous athletes, and I think we have what it takes to go all the way.
Well, this game hurts to play, but it feels so good to win. Joining me in the broadcast booth, Chris Cuthbert, who has called some exciting classics in the 90s, and of course, Dan Kepley, who has the scars to prove he's been through the battles. Guys, Jeff Garcia, the sophomore, under pressure in the biggest game of his pro career, but Chris, some speculation we might be in for a surprise because Flutie is dressed.
Yeah, Doug Flutie's been lobbying all week to play in this game, and Wally Buono's finally relented. He's going to let him take the first snap of the game, try to get the crowd revved up, get a psychological edge, but they don't want to take any further chances because he's going in for surgery tomorrow. It's Garcia's game to win or lose against Chris Vargas, and my partner's got that look in his eye because it's Labor Day, and there's two young quarterbacks really in the fire.
We're talking about trial by fire today, and we're going to get an initiation for these two young quarterbacks. I tell you what, that young girl that tried to get into the University Citadel is going to think that that was tough. Wait till you see how these two people, Willie Pless and Alondra Johnson, the head chefs out there, turn the heat up in the kitchen today.
Yeah, the defense is a big story going into this game. All you have to know about the Eskimos, they lead in turnovers. They're number 2 in sacks, Stampeders' toughest team to run against. And both coaches agree that it's the team that handles the pressure of the opposite defense that's going to win this game today. Mark?
Chris, can't wait to get started. Coming right up in 3 hours' time, we'll take you to Toronto, the Argos, and San Antonio. The return of Bob Obelovich, his third stint as coach after firing Mike Faragelli. Scott Oak standing by in Toronto.
Mark, it's Skydome today. It's OB3, the beginning of Bob Obelovich's third term as head coach of the Argonauts. 7 days ago, he dismissed Mike Faragelli and took over himself. The object of the exercise is to prove that many of the players Obelovich acquired as general manager in the offseason can get the team into the playoffs. Kent Austin was the major acquisition, and OB says the shackles will be off the quarterback today, freeing Austin to do whatever it takes to deliver the Argos to victory over the San Antonio Texans. That's coming up as the second half of our doubleheader. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Scott, we'll go to you in about 3 hours' time. As I mentioned, coming up right after the Stampeders and the Eskimos here in the 35th annual Labor Day Classic, the latest in a long line of legendary football games. Massive defeats like 1990 when the Eskimos slaughtered the Stampeders 38-4. Wild West shootouts. 1991, Danny Barrett engineering a 48-36 Calgary win. The bravado, a guaranteed Calgary win that turned into an embarrassing 34-21 loss. Edmonton picking off 6 Flutie passes to gain some respect. And the intimidation. The Stamps wear special black jerseys last year to avenge their loss to Edmonton in the Western Final.
Taylor.
Coming up on the BF Goodrich TA halftime, we'll hear from Edmonton linebacker Larry Ruck, who has inflicted himself on Stampeder offenses over the years. We'll also preview Bob Obilovich's return to the sidelines, Game 2 of our Labor Day Twin Bill. Well, they haven't had a great summer here in Alberta, but summer is definitely here in all its glory this weekend. Ideal conditions, not a cloud in the sky, and we're set for the opening kickoff. Here's Chris and Danny.
Thank you, Mark. Ready now for the 35th Labor Day Classic. Mark McLaughlin kicks it off. 37,317 are in attendance at McMahon, and here is Errol Martin on the reverse, not fooling the Stampeders' Gerald Vaughn. As the Eskimos try something tricky to start with, Chris Vargas is the starting quarterback, making his 5th start. He's 3-1 as the starting quarterback, coming off a sharp effort last week. And Vargas will have a veteran offensive line, although 2 injuries at the tackle spot. And these tackles, Chris Green, Leo Groenwagen, will be under the gun today. Shalon Baker, the touchdown maker out of Montana, had a couple last week and has been a Rookie of the Year candidate. First play of the game goes to Eric Blount, right side, past Alondra Johnson, and up to the 35-yard line. That's a pickup of 9 for Blount, who was outstanding last week, 139 yards rushing against the Ottawa Roughriders.
That's the thing this young quarterback is going to do, is to try to run the ball early and take a little pressure off of this very tenacious Stampeder defense, led in the middle by the veteran Stu Laird, the fireman. They can get it done. He's steady. Solid linebacking core, very agile. Pope is the guy that you're going to see coming off the corner, getting into Chris Vargas' face a lot, and Coleman, an excellent corner, a very solid in the back end.
2nd and 1, give up the middle. Michael Souls broke off the initial tackle. Out to the 45. Greg Knox, the safety, had to pull down Souls as the Eskimos try to establish a running game against the #1 rushing defense in the Canadian Football League.
That little smirk you saw on my face in the opening, Chris, it gets you excited when you see 2 great defensive ball clubs like that. And I really love to watch this play. These guys in the hurry up, they can make a lot of things happen.
Vargas' first pass in the flat, picked off by Marvin Coleman. 1 man to beat. And a touchdown saving tackle by Eric Blount. But a huge turnover to start it. And Coleman feels he should have been in.
Marvin Coleman has just played great. When we talked to Wally Bono the other day, we talked about, give us some of the names of some prize guys that you're really happy with. Marvin Coleman was the first guy he spoke on. See, Chris Vargas and Ronnie Lancaster having a conversation, and Doug Flutie taking the first snap.
And this building now abuzz because Doug Flutie is in. And again, he will get 1 snap. And Wally Buono says that will be it.
Are you a betting man on that 1 snap, Chris?
I think he's going for all of it. No, he'll hand it off. Tony Stewart bounces off 1. Cuts back. And Stewart down to the 23-yard line. Has a gain of close to 6. Well, will that be it for Flutie?
That's exactly it.
You may have to drag him out.
John Huffnagel's taking a look, and he's talking with Jeff Garcia on the sideline. As you can see, he comes out. He just felt, he meaning Wally Bono, that Doug Flutie deserved to be able to have this kind of attention, standing ovation, a wonderful compliment to a great athlete and a great addition to the Canadian Football League.
And now a special presentation for Doug, the football symbolic of 30,000 yards passing. He went over that 2 weeks ago against Birmingham. He'll hold on kicks today, but I asked Wally Bono if they're down late in the game, will we see him? And he said absolutely not. They don't want to jeopardize the surgery that is scheduled for tomorrow in California. So it's 2nd and 4, and again Tony Stewart gets the call. Nothing doing. Benny Goods closing it up along with Larry Ruck, the middle linebacker.
Benny Goods, number 40, and Larry Ruck, 47.
Edmonton's defense, they get a good push up the front with Benny Goods and Tony Woods in the middle. great coming off the corner with Malvin Hunter and also Leroy Blue. An unbelievable lateral pursuit by Larry Ruck and Willie Pless and the nickelback, Singor Mobley.
Mark McLaughlin on to attempt a 30-yard field goal. Kept watching him practice yesterday. We saw Doug Flutie throw out of this formation. I know all the teams practice it. They're not going to try it. And McLaughlin misses. He was 25 of 28, but he misses here from 30 yards out. Stamp strike first, but it's only one here in the Labor Day Classic.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by Ford of Canada, makers of the new 1996 Ford Taurus.
Well, I shopped around a lot, and the Honda Accord was one of the cars that I looked at, but I fell in love with the Ford Contour because it's exhilarating to drive. When I say to my family and friends, ooh, it's got a Duratec engine, everybody's like, oh, really? The best kind of driving would be bright sunshine to somewhere fun. With the Contour, it's like, oh, it's only an hour and a half.
Until recently, stomach ulcers were blamed on stress and bad diet. Then, an Australian doctor found bacteria to be the most frequent cause and antibiotics the cure. He had a fight on his hands to convince the medical establishment, but he proved his theory by infecting himself with a bacteria cocktail, then curing himself. Watch Ulcer Wars, Thursday, on The Nature of Things with David Suzuki.
On their new weekend getaway.
There's the Stampeders starting quarterback, Doug Flutie, a torn tendon flexor in his passing arm, and he'll undergo surgery tomorrow. And compared notes with Ron Lancaster earlier today. He had similar surgery in 1970, and Ronnie told us yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Doug Flutie in this game.
Well, he told us one thing, too, that was very important. He says, I'm Doug Flutie's biggest fan. He said, when you talk about quarterbacks, first there's Doug Flutie, and then there's the rest of the quarterbacks in this league.
Well, how will the interception affect Chris Vargas in his second series of the game? Play action, here comes the rush, and they screen it to Michael Souls. And Souls upended at the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 7. And Marvin Coleman, who made the interception, has the tackle on Souls.
Real good play. They've come up with a couple of running plays, and all of a sudden they got the interception. Now he comes back thinking that Calgary defense is going to get after him. Now he's going to go with the screen. Michael Souls is going to set up off the left side. Makes a good fake inside. The guy that makes this work is Craig Henderson. The tackle gets out, just a little piece of Matt Finley, and that allowed Michael Souls to get up the field.
2nd and 3, and they give it to Blount. No, a nice play action. And it's Vargas, who's been compared to Dunnigan. They say he's not as good a runner. He fooled me, fooled the Stampeders for a first down.
Well, this is the kind of thing that you're thinking about. Ron Lancaster has to do a couple of things offensively to try to keep Calgary's defense off balance. So far, they're doing a good job of it. Run just enough, obviously, to come back. That first pass to throw the wide side out may not have been in the best choice for the young quarterback. Give him a couple of passes to throw inside to build a little confidence. But now, Calgary may have to concern themselves with his scrambling ability.
They're into Calgary territory at the 52-yard line after the 15-yard Vargas pickup. Pressure on there. Almost picked off. Al Jordan on the other corner. And Vargas gets away with another.
To quote the phrase, it don't get no better. That's the only thing you can say when a corner gets a chance to see that ball coming, hanging out there. He's got a great break on it, just does not concentrate and look the ball in. Will Johnson doing a good job of containment, forces Chris Vargas to pull the ball down. That's the kind where the young quarterback needs to make the decision. Just eat it and then re-scrimmage again.
You think we're going to see another out today? 1 interception, 1 almost. 2nd and 10, Vargas over the middle. overthrowing the intended receiver, Nick Mazzoli. And that brings up third down. Vargas and Mazzoli, dynamite last week. They hooked up for 3 touchdowns in the romp over Ottawa.
Well, for whatever reasons, talking to Ron Lancaster again, he felt that maybe they could exploit the corners of Calgary just a little bit. Obviously, the first 2 plays that they've tested him, he may change his mind a bit and go back to the inside a little more and try to see if he can get Mazzoli and C.J. Davis involved in the game a bit.
Marvin Coleman back, and Glenn Harper with a beautiful punt landing on the goal line, and Coleman will wisely concede the single point. So we're even in the Labor Day Classic with 5:35 gone first quarter. Well, here's Jeff Garcia, who will handle the bulk of the work today, and check those numbers out last week. That's better than any game Doug Flutie has had this year, so he really won the confidence of his teammates in the battle against Birmingham.
Both of these teams had great confidence-building games. Edmonton against Ottawa 63-3, and then Calgary against Birmingham to come in here. But today is the true measuring stick of what's going to happen between these 2 teams and how good they are.
Out of the shotgun, Garcia quickly gets it to Alan Pitts. And Pitts has a first down up at the 48-yard line. Glenn Rogers Jr. in coverage. And Pitts, number 2 in CFL receiving behind his teammate, Dave Sapunjas. Leroy Blues had a great year, but what member of the Edmonton Eskimos has not? Expect great pressure from the front 7 today. And Larry Rucks, a veteran of these Labor Day games. Willie Pless, top defensive player. And what a year Darian Hagan has had in a rebuilt secondary for the Eskimos. First down, Garcia gets it away. There's Sapunjas down at the Eskimo 40. Dave Sapunjas with 208 yards last week against Birmingham. 13 catches. He has his first of the day for 23 yards and is the leader in the Canadian Football League. Flag fell after the tackle on Sapunjas. Neil Payne, the referee.
Disqualification for rough play, number 26, Edmonton, 25-yard penalty.
Wow. That's Glenn Rogers Jr. He's done for the day.
What a loss. That is a tremendous loss for the Edmonton secondary. It really throws a curveball into Coach Lancaster's plans. The backup guy is John Kalin, a safety out of the University of Calgary, who was in Calgary before. Now they've got to come in. They've got Kalin. They've got Trent Brown. Trent will have to play the halfback. Kalin will move to the safety.
Well, they lost to DB last year by disqualification once the game was over. And they say that Glenn Rogers Jr. is working on the ankle well after the play here. And disqualification. Kalin is the only extra back.
There's got to be more to it than what we just saw on the replay there, because if that was the disqualification, forget about it. Neil Payne's got to let these guys play football out there. This is Labor Day. This is a classic. This is a game fight out there. Pushing and shoving and mouthing is going to take place.
You're right, though. An enormous problem for Ron Lancaster now.
Well, when you've got to think, you're Trent Brown, you've been playing safety, and you're doing an excellent job playing safety. He hasn't had to play much halfback. Now he's got to go against Sapunjas and Alan Pitts all day long. You bet you're going to earn your money this afternoon.
First down after the 23-yard pickup, the 25-yard penalty, and Garcia breaking the tackle of Willie Pless, and he's down to the 12. Well, Kemp, not only do they lose Doug Flutie, their top passer, but their top rusher, Doug Flutie, but Garcia shows you he'll take off with the football. And now with the ejection of Glenn Rogers Jr., a Calgary native, John Kalin, has to come in at safety, and the safety, Trent Brown, moves across.
Well, I can tell you one thing, just from a defensive point of view, if all of a sudden Jeff Garcia is going to start rushing this ball, that falls right into what I wanted to do. I'd rather have him running the ball than throwing the ball downfield to those receivers.
They need one. They give to Tony Stewart going outside. Stewart inside the 5. establish the ground game to help Garcia.
You can see right there, that's Trent Brown, the halfback who comes to the outside. Just not familiar with how to squeeze to force containment. Got caught inside too tightly. That allowed Stewart to get outside, pick up the yardage. He's got to be able to get upfield, force Stewart back inside into where the pursuit is going to take place, and maybe one of the guys are going to make the tackle.
Well, this is Tony Stewart, touchdown territory. They fake the handoff. They throw touchdown. That's Marvin Pope. Big Daddy with the touchdown, and Garcia with a beautiful play fake to Tony Stewart.
John Hufnagel taking a page out of Lancaster's playbook where they've used Willie Pless on short yardage a couple of times. They use Big Daddy on the short yardage, baits the block, goes down inside. Good play fake. Held all of the Edmonton defenders, and the Big Daddy rumbles into the end zone and catches that for a big score for himself.
And there's a message in all of this midway through the first quarter. There are no surprises on Labor Day because anything can happen.
I thought Houdini was dead, but I tell you what, he's alive and well somewhere amongst these two teams today.
Big Daddy the touchdown, the Stampeders the lead.
Joshua Williams, baseball player, swimmer, and safety ambassador for the War Amps Champ program. Joshua knows what it means to play safe. During a boat ride, he got too close to the edge and fell overboard. The motor severed his leg. Now, he must wear an artificial one. Joshua has a warning for all children.
Don't let it happen to you. Play safe. Yes.
A message from the War Amps.
Can you take me for a minute?
Sure.
Thanks. You sure this is the one you want?
Yeah. Hey, he's adorable.
You like him more than all the others?
Yeah. We'll take him.
And you're gonna walk him?
I promise.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't accept that card.
Oh, but it's all we have.
I'm sorry.
There you are.
There he is.
We'll take him.
Used more often than any other card in the world. Visa.
Come on, Elmo.
Elmo?
It's the only card you need.
Okay, listen up. There's a new Sports Select game in town called Point Spread, and it works like this. Every game has a favorite and an underdog. Usually the favorite will eat the underdog's lunch. So Point Spread was invented. The favorite just can't win. He has to cover the spread. That evens things out. And the winnings make it worth your while. So bone up on new Point Spread from Sports Select. Oh, it's an easy way to get in the game.
Hey, that's how you gotta be versatile, baby.
Yeah, he's versatile, all right. He's been on Wally Bono about playing fullback. He wants to carry one in the end zone, too, but here he catches the 3-yard touchdown pass.
Just top left of your screen. All it is, it's nothing to it. Nobody's going to make a move. He's just going to come out here. Good play fake inside. And Jeff Garcia, all he has to do is dump it over the outstretched arms of some of the defenders. And Marvin Pope is all by himself in the end zone.
Here's Eric Blount from his 20. Across the 35.
Number 35, Eric.
And that's where the Eskimos will put the ball in play. 6:19 left, first quarter.
55 yards on the kickoff for Mark McLaughlin.
The Eskimos started slow last week, posting a record 63 points against Ottawa, but Chris Vargas had just 9 yards passing in the first quarter, so young quarterback might take him a little while to get comfortable, if he can get comfortable against this Stampeder defense.
First and 10 for the Eskimos at their own 37.
Londra Johnson, Matt Finley, Will Moore, those boys out there, they're not going to allow him to get comfortable. They're going to get in his face and make it a tough day.
He's on, ball up for grabs, and Blount hung on with Alondra Johnson in the neighborhood. AJ, a leader on defense in tackles for the Stampeders.
One of the reasons the force is really going to happen is the speed on the outside rush guys. Will Johnson, Dwayne Patterson, Strekos Nizakovic are going to get up the field very quickly and force the young quarterback to have to step up, or as we just saw, throw off balance and probably throw into the crowd.
Gain of 2, it's 2nd and 8. Better protection, lots of time, going deep, looking for Baker, and he can't bring it in with Al Jordan tightly covering
175, young man, 25 years old, out of UCLA, was picked up in the first round of the Las Vegas dispersal draft. And Coach Wally Buono felt that this guy was a keeper, a really solid man to have on the hot corner.
These are two new corners for Calgary in Labor Day action anyway. And Wally Buono's given them high marks so far this year. Coleman at his 26. Flag goes down for no yards. And they'll tack the penalty onto that. Just over 10 minutes gone. Cavis Reed was inside that 5-yard restraining area, number 24.
46 yards on the kick. You see him patting himself right on the chest. He said, that's my bad. All I guess he has to do is use that great speed to get down the field for coverage, but you have to pick up the ball and find it.
45-yard punt by Harper. But after the penalty, the ball spotted at the Calgary 43. Garcia came into the game with 670 yards passing in his last 5.5 quarters. And he has looked crisp so far in his first quarter.
Chris, let's see if he tried to take advantage of Alan Pitts on Trent Brown right away.
Dumps it off Stewart. And Tony Stewart dropped at the 48-yard line. The great Willie Pless not letting him by.
6 yards on the play.
Pless, the leading tackler in the CFL with 59. And Tony Stewart told me yesterday, I know I'm not playing as well as I did last year. I've got to regain the confidence of my coach and teammates. And he's under the gun a bit. 19 touchdowns last year. He was a 1,000-yard rusher.
He really was. I think he's been blocking extremely well. He's carried the ball out as far as receiving the ball very well. He just has not been running the way Tony Stewart can run.
That guy will stop you anytime. There's a completion, and Alan Pitts with a nice move. Inside the 45-yard line for Pitts. Another first down. Pitts needed just 40 yards to pass Tom Ferzani on the all-time list to become the all-time pass receiving leader in Calgary.
Chris, look at this. The first pitcher coming up, but there is no sign of Trent Brown, the halfback. He is really respecting Alan Pitts, giving him a lot of cushion. And when he comes up there, you really have to break down and just grab a hold of a piece of cloth and hold on so somebody else comes to help you make the tackle.
Only needs 10 more yards. And Trent Brown is really on the hot seat. Here's Tony Stewart. And the Stampeders have had some success rushing this football.
Willie Pless, number 39, with the tackle.
Stewart gets 5. And again, Pless with the stop.
Chris, and I would truly anticipate them, along with, you can take a good look at John Huffnagel and Wally Buono on the sideline. John calling the plays in for the young quarterback, Jeff Garcia. But to have more success running the football, because now with Glenn Rogers Jr. out of that lineup, they're going to have great success in throwing the ball inside.
2nd and 5 for Garcia out of the shotgun. Over the middle, there's Stewart. Great catch. Tony Stewart inside the 5. Oh, boy. That'll regain some confidence. Trent Brown, a saving tackle. 35 yards for Stewart.
Edmonton plays a lot of complicated defense where they try to match up on the 3-man side. All of a sudden, you leave Tony Stewart one-on-one against Willie Pless, and he gets upfield quickly. Willie is in a catch-up position. Great throw, but unbelievable concentration by Tony Stewart to pull the ball in.
Kemper, you sure it's not Flutie at quarterback? Garcia 6 for 6, 107 yards, a touchdown. 1st and goal. And Garcia looking in the end zone for Terry Vaughn. Has the catch, but he's out of bounds.
Terry Vaughn in the corner, just out of bounds, incomplete.
Just ran out of real estate. But that was one of the aspects last week against Birmingham, kept. Garcia likes to go to the wideouts, and that stretches the defense. Vaughn was active last week. Pee Wee Smith on the other side, his first 100-yard receiving game of the season.
Well, I think that the same offense still prevails here between Garcia and Doug Flutie. The thing is, it's just shortened down just a little bit to what Garcia can actually do a few things really, really well.
2nd and goal. Blitz is coming. Garcia pumps, throws. Danielson can't haul it in. went from one side of the field to the other wideout.
Larry Ruck comes and gets right up in the young quarterback's face, and he throws the ball just a little higher and behind Pee Wee Smith. Kavis Reed does a good job of concentrating on the ball coming in, get the hands on it right at the last minute. Forces Calgary into a field goal situation.
Well, we mentioned that Flutie has thrown out of this situation in practice. Not going to do it again. This time McLaughlin's through, and the Stamps now have a 10-point lead as Garcia has looked sharp early on.
Introducing the new Mercury Mystique. It has available all-speed traction control, a Micron air filter that removes dust and pollen, and the new 24-valve, fuel-efficient Duratec V6 engine. Yet, even though Mystique is equipped like a luxury car, it's priced thousands of dollars less. Because the last time we looked, money still didn't grow on trees. Drive the all-new Mercury Mystique.
I like the idea of news in the morning. You're telling people something they actually don't know, what's been happening overnight, but also to jump right on a story as soon as it breaks and get to know as much about it as fast as we can. It's new, and you're just starting to understand it. People get up in the morning, reach for the coffee, turn on the television set, and bang, the news is there. It's fresh.
The CBC Morning News with Bill Cameron, starting September 11th on CBC Television.
Join in the fight against AIDS. Join in a walk for life.
Alberta Boot Company for the
That's quite a triumvirate. John Hufnagel, a former quarterback of the Stampeders in Labor Day Classics. Doug Flutie, Jeff Garcia conferring after an impressive drive, fell 3 yards short.
And the Calgary Stampeders always to the goal.
Dan the Giz watching this one on the sidelines.
Then Tuffy hurt himself against Ottawa on the opening kickoff, pulled hamstring to see it's crucial to get him back into this lineup.
In the meantime, Eric Blount handling the bulk of the kickoff returns up to the 37-yard line. That's a 16-yard return after a 53-yard kick. I mentioned Vargas a slow start last week, but great confidence among his teammates. So he's got great leadership ability for a youngster.
I have to admit one thing. If I'm a young quarterback like Jeff Garcia, I personally would feel a lot more comfortable sometimes getting over there talking to John Hufnagel and Doug Flutie, possibly than the young quarterback Chris Vargas. The guy he's got to talk to over there is Kerwin Bell right now. Kerwin Bell still trying to figure out a few things about this game.
Wonder how unsettling those first two passes were. The first picked off, handoff up the middle. The second almost picked off for an interception. The Eskimos still working that ground game. Michael Souls has 3.
Well, Chris, it's kind of a backhanded compliment to the Calgary defensive halfbacks, Kenton Leonard and also Gerald Vaughn, that they feel more, that Edmonton feels more comfortable trying to attack on the corners than at the halfback position.
Heat on Vargas, and down he goes. He got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Kenny Walker. Great defensive lineman out of Nebraska with the tackle. As the clock winds down in a first quarter dominated by the Stampeders.
Marvin Colvin again, one of these guys that has really added instant field position to an already potent Calgary attack.
He had 83-yard punt return for a touchdown last week against Birmingham, but this is Pee Wee Smith who can run him back too. Good downfield coverage by the Eskimos to the 35-yard line. Trent Brown first downfield
for the Calgary
after the 41-yard punt.
After a 43
and a flag down on the field. That's the final play, first quarter here at McMahon Stadium. We've got a sellout in the Labor Day Classic. Home team up by 10.
At Home Building Center, we see every home improvement job as a big job. Sir, what does big mean to you?
500 feet of fencing.
Whoa, big plans, man?
Oh, yeah, 10 houses to drywall.
Planning a big entrance?
No, I'm putting in a new door.
Ah, right. The Homewood Projects Guide is available now at participating dealers with over 40 all-wood do-it-yourself projects from Select Home Designs.
If you have big plans, we have friendly advice and a great price.
With Canada's largest group of building supply dealers, you can always plan on home.
It's a great story. You know these characters.
Han Solo.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, Princess Leia, definitely.
My favorite character would be Darth Vader. That incredible voice that he had.
Now I am the master.
Darth Vader's always, pretty awesome fellow.
Grabbed you,
I actually enjoy watching it with my kids because I see them enjoying it.
I still hear the music in my ear.
The original Star Wars on video. Buy it before it's gone forever.
Car and Driver has chosen their 10 best automobiles for 1995. Quite a select group. They all have the kind of safety features you would expect, like dual airbags, anti-lock braking systems, and reinforced body structure. They all have outstanding performance credentials, as you would expect. And they all have the kind of sticker price you would expect of a vehicle in such an elite group. All except one, a 1995 Ford Contour. It's nice to be in such good company, but not all the time.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by Ford of Canada, makers of the new 1996 Ford Taurus.
Back live at McMahon Stadium with Doug Flutie. Doug, I saw you in practice throwing with your right arm and your left arm yesterday. Might we see you throwing a pass in this game before you go to surgery?
I doubt it. If I could throw, I'd be in there, and if I do throw, it'll swell up, and I won't be able to have surgery tomorrow.
So no surprises?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Would have liked to have, but I don't think so.
Thanks, Doug. Chris?
Well, that's at least not with the right hand. He did try to prove he could throw it with the left hand, but he said only about 20 yards with a little zip on the ball. Garcia's had some zip in the first quarter, and he's got Pitts. And Alan Pitts is up to the 53-yard line, and that catch will make him the all-time leading pass receiver in Calgary Stampeder history.
He surpasses an old guy I had to chase around out there. Tommy Frizani, Chiefs, number 22. Just a deep end. He reads this very, very well, but you can see the cushion that Trent Brown gives him. And the linebackers up front, Mobley and Willie Press and Larry Ruck, got caught up the field just a bit. And Alan Pitts was able to work in that zone behind him. Take a look. That's a lot of yards.
First down call, Tony Stewart. And I think the Stampeders had a little more success running the ball than they might have expected early on.
Well, as I said, I think that the big key right now is that they're having enough success throwing the ball to all the receivers that they want to. That's opening up this rushing game. Had Glenn Rogers Jr. not gotten thrown out of the game early, I think it's a different ball game. Now, unfortunately, it's going to be a very long day out there for the Edmonton defense.
Second down, please.
There's Alan Pitts. Approaching 1,000 yards on the season. Stewart on second down, upended by Trent Brown, who's moved across to that defensive halfback spot. And Stewart is going to be short, just short of the first down. This may require a measurement. It's under a yard to go, and Calgary will be gambling on third down. Yeah, you chased Borzani, you chased Huffnagel a bit in Labor Day games.
Oh, you didn't have to chase Huffy. Huffy was easy. You could actually see Huffy's face. He'd stand in front of you. He couldn't run away from you too much. But I can guarantee you, Tommy Frizani could run. He was very quick.
Now, you're not telling me you were faster than Huffnagel.
Oh, I'm telling you that right now on national television.
Third down, and that should move the yardsticks. We'll get rebuttal from Huffnagel.
Calgary Stampeder first down.
Well, Well, as good a quarterback as he was, he has quite a track record now as an offensive coordinator.
And probably one of the main candidates right now if he ever wants to be a head coach. He is probably a well sought out individual. There's a guy right there. You can just look at the stance, look at the posture on Coach Lancaster. He knows that things aren't going very well for his team right now.
He's got a winning record head-to-head against Wally Buono, 6-5, Ron Lancaster. In tough right now, Garcia. Pressure on, and Errol Martin wraps him up and throws him down. Errol Martin with his 7th sack, and consider he doesn't line up on every snap.
Doesn't get a chance, but they are fairly deep in linebackers. Malvin Hunter, Errol Martin. Now look at the pressure. They get good containment on the outside and forces the young quarterback up into the middle. And there's where Errol Martin, that is his 7th sack of the season.
35th for the Eskimos. Calgary's given up 15 sacks this year, 7 in the last 2.5 games, and 6 of those against Garcia. A little tougher to protect Garcia than the mobile Doug Flutie. Second 19, over the middle, it's a strike, and Alan Pitts is close to the first down. If they give him the 35-yard line, it's a gain of 20.
Chris, we talked about the key to this game was who was going to get the time to throw the ball. Right now, Calgary's offensive line are buying enough time for the young quarterback to find an open spot in an open area and a good receiver in Alan Pitts, and he is throwing the ball very precisely.
Surprisingly, Pitts without a touchdown in his last 5 games. Stampeders on the move. Garcia with some time. And another completion to Pitts. Willie Plus this time on the tackle. Now, they've had a little trouble getting the ball to Pitts. The last 2 games, 8 catches, just 115 yards. That's low for Pitts, as Hufnagel sends in the next play to Garcia.
Pitts started off very tough this year. His first 3 games were over 100 yards, but only the last 2 of 6 games have been over 100 yards. He has 38 games over 100 yards to his credit in his career.
Well, Garcia and Pitts on the same wavelength. This time it's Tony Stewart, right side. Finally knocked out of bounds. It's been a big first half for Tony Stewart. Gain of 13 on that run off the right side.
Tony Stewart, 6'1", 205 pounds, does an excellent job of running through some arm tackles of the Edmonton defenders, and they are well noted of being good tacklers out there. But in that case, when you're trying to arm tackle a guy that's got the leg strength of a Tony Stewart, you're going to be at a tough day out there, and he's going to pick up some significant yardage. He comes off to the sideline to get a well-deserved break.
It's a first down now at the 14. And Garcia deploying 5 receivers. Daniels, the lone running back. Shotgun, end zone, touchdown, Alan Pitts. In Calgary.
Well, there certainly is, and one of these, what happens is he's with a veteran ball club, and everybody's rising up to another notch and another level. And a guy like Alan Pitts, when he gets the opportunity to work against who is usually a safety, Trent Brown, they're going to make the best of it. And Trent Brown standing back there going, "Why me, Lord?"
McLaughlin adds the extra point. Alan Pitts has expanded Calgary's lead.
Such wilderness, William.
Today, yes, Jacques, but someday it'll be a great country.
You think so?
Absolutely. You see, they shall perfect a game called hockey, invent the telephone, rescue England and France twice, and make one incredibly good beer, a true Canadian lager.
Oh, sacre bleu.
Yes, that's it.
Hi, I'm Stephen Hunter. On the next edition of The Health Show, chlamydia. Heard of it?
I've never heard someone really stressed getting the disease chlamydia.
Well, it's rampant among teenagers. The Health Show, Thursday.
Tuesday on Man Alive, the resilient child.
I think I'm just maybe an average person. I went through some tough times, but that's what life is.
That's Tuesday on Man Alive.
Undercurrents. A hot new look at the information age. Wendy Mesley guides us through the interconnected maze of media and computers in the communications revolution. Undercurrents, coming this fall on CBC.
Catch the action of Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC. Join our on-air team.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Williams, along with Tommy Hutton. Welcome to Skydome.
Detroit squares off against Toronto in the Dome, Friday at 8 Eastern.
We're not finished yet, but we'll keep on working hard to make this a win.
Alan Pitts with his 7th touchdown of the year, an impressive march of 76 yards. Here's how they capped it.
Not much of a fake outside, but all he does, Trent Brown is so cautious back there, gets his hips, turns to the outside, and Alan Pitts doesn't need very much room to make a lot of things happen. Easy catch and a very excited Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, they've been saying this guy's quiet, kind of laid back, a Richie Cunningham type. Didn't look like it after that touchdown throw. Eric Blount and the Eskimos need a spark. Blount down at the 25-yard line. Gerald Vaughn leading the tacklers, an 18-yard return, and the 37-317, fourth consecutive sellout here in the Labor Day Classic. Enjoying this one so far.
Chris, I think it's crucial right now that the young quarterback understand the situation. He has to be probably the best defense that they can have. Even like they used to say, the best defense against Fluties, keep him off the field. He has to make first downs, make possession drives right now, and keep the ball in the hands of the Edmonton Eskimos. And I don't know if that's possible.
Here comes the rush, and down he goes. Kenny Walker, 6'3", 260. Got the arms in the air and then buried Vargas.
99, Kenny Walker.
This Calgary defense works so well as a unit. Will Johnson gets up, forces Vargas to have to pull it down and try to reload it again. But there's excellent coverage in the secondary. There's nobody open down there, and as soon as they have such great coverage like that, that front four and front seven, they get in your face and make sacks happen.
That's the first official sack as defensive coordinator Frank Spaziani looks on. Second and long, Vargas in the flat, and he has a completion to Shalon Baker in front of Al Jordan, and that was almost picked off.
Baker on the sideline.
But Shalon Baker is a big addition for these Eskimos this year, a strong Rookie of the Year candidate.
A lot deeper patterns than I would have anticipated Vargas trying to throw right now, but he had some success. Shalon Baker comes into this game, 50 catches, 819 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ron Lancaster, big supporter of the fact that this kid could be Rookie of the Year in the CFL.
Cap, it's 3rd and 2, and the Eskimos going for it from their 34. Big play, first half. And the give, I don't know if they got there. Errol Martin turned back. Vargas says they've got it. They set the fireworks off here in anticipation of a turnover on downs, but we're going to wait till they unpile.
I can guarantee you one thing, those fireworks in the end zones aren't nothing to equal the fireworks that are taking place on the field right now.
He did get it.
He got an excellent spot because there was a tremendous surge off of that defensive line. Now you take a look at Wally. He knows it.
First and 10 Edmonton at the 35.
Well, Buono's reaction says it all, but the drive stays alive for Eskimos. And it's Blount. And he's caught at the line and leans forward for a couple.
Eskimos about 3 yards.
Will Johnson, the tackle.
Number 81 with the tackle.
Just 62 yards offense so far for the Eskimos. And that's Steve Krupe, the right guard, who's on the limp. We mentioned the Eskimos lost their starting tackles, Chris Morris and Blake Dermott. Morris could be back for next Friday.
Stampeder for the day. Warm up in the stand, sit on the bench.
Sandy Annunziata is the backup offensive lineman for Edmonton, a former Stampeder. And while Krupe gets attention, we'll take a timeout. It's all Calgary so far.
We're the experts when it comes to saving. We're in the aircraft parts business. A son and pop operation. AGT does help us. 99.9% of the business we do is through the phone or the fax. You can jump in there, right?
I mean, we live and die by the phone. 3 minutes in Alberta only cost us 99 cents.
We've shopped around.
We save money and we save time and aggravation using AGT.
Anytime you can get long-distance telephone service anywhere in Alberta for less than $1, you've got a good deal.
Has chosen their 10 best automobiles for 1995. Quite a select group. They all have the kind of safety features you would expect, like dual airbags, anti-lock braking systems, and reinforced body structure. They all have outstanding performance credentials, as you would expect. And they all have the kind of sticker price you would expect of a vehicle in such an elite group. All except one, a 1995 Ford Contour. It's nice to be in such good company, but not all the time.
Tirecraft introduces the new Michelin Energy Tire. The biggest revolution since Michelin invented the radial. The new radial XSE technology sets a whole new standard in the rain, in the snow. It even saves gas. Introducing the new Energy Tire from Michelin. It's science that goes beyond magic. Hurry into your local Tirecraft store for the revolutionary Michelin Energy Tire before they disappear.
Nice shirt.
Welcome back to McMahon. Steve Krupe on the sidelines. Graduate of the University of Western Ontario, replaced by another Western alumnus, Sandy Annunziata. And such a focus on this offensive line of Edmonton coming into the game, and a lot of pressure on this rookie right now. They've got to buy some time for Chris Vargas. It's 2nd and 7. Vargas throwing back, and it's Blount. Alondra Johnson, a tough man to outrun, and Blount runs out of real estate. Marvin Coleman in support. And the Eskimos come up short.
It has come to the fact right now that the Edmonton Eskimos has to do things to try to little razzle-dazzle, to try to offset, try to keep this Calgary defense off balance as best they can. Misdirection, move the pocket one way, try to throw back across the grain. But the one thing that this Calgary defense has is incredible team speed. And they have wonderful ways of pursuit to the ball. That they get there, they make a tackle. Everybody is very disciplined in staying and doing their job. And that's why the Edmonton Eskimos are having such a tough time picking up any yardage.
Marvin Coleman on the return. Calgary will have the ball at their 39 when we come back to McMahon.
Stampeders held to.
These are the mean machines. Watch closely now and you will see. They can hurt you. They can cut you. These are the mean machines.
Trevor knows what it means to play safe. A year ago, he tried to beat the train. It cost him his arm.
Don't let it happen to you. Play safe.
A message from the War Amps of Canada.
Can you take me for a minute?
Sure.
Thanks. You sure this is the one you want?
Yeah.
Hey, he's adorable.
You like him more than all the others?
Yeah. We'll take him.
And you're gonna walk him?
I promise.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't accept that card.
Oh, but it's all we have.
I'm sorry.
There you are.
There he is.
We'll take him.
Used more often than any other card in the world. Visa.
Come on, Elmo.
Elmo?
It's the only card you need.
Overall, it's the most powerful line of trucks on the planet. A line of trucks built by people who look at things a little differently. From the company that puts an airbag in every single one. A line of trucks that from one end to the other simply refuses to follow the rules. From Dodge, Canada's truck stop.
25-year-old Jeff Garcia out of San Jose State. He was quite frank with us yesterday. He said, I'm going to make some mistakes tomorrow, but Cap, we haven't seen any yet.
Well, I think he's being very really have picked it up a notch. As Wally Buono said, the kid still has to make the read, still has to make the right throw, and he's getting better and better at it each snap.
Now he's going to throw the home run ball, Pee Wee Smith. And Garcia'd love to have that back because he missed him by a stride. And Pee Wee likes to go downtown. Graduate of Miami of Florida.
One of the very few times that you see Edmonton take the safety out of the middle, and the read is take it right to the post. Plenty of time for Garcia to throw the ball, and it's just right past the outstretched hands of the speedy Pee Wee Smith.
Well, Pee Wee looking for his first major score of the year. He got in behind the Eskimos secondary there. 2nd and 10. Time for Garcia. Sapunjas into Edmonton territory at the 50, and John Kalin came across, but we cannot underestimate the ejection of Glenn Rogers Jr. because the Stamps are enjoying this afternoon in that secondary.
Really is a good place, but what Edmonton's trying to do is to make an adjustment. They have Larry Ruck over here, and Trent Brown is behind. Now, here is Sapunjas. All he's going to do, he reads the double coverage, and all of a sudden the young quarterback wants to come back to the wide side of the field, and there he finds Sapunjas, goes single coverage, and he makes the reception.
21 yards for Sapunjas, just a couple on that carry by Tony Stewart. Well, Jeff Garcia, not great experience in throwing the football in the Big West Conference. Threw it 40 times a game. Playing for San Jose State, he was often pitted against Chris Vargas, the University of Nevada, Reno. Also Anthony Cavill, the Hamilton quarterback, was in the conference. Trent Dilfer, quarterback with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And these guys all got great experience in that conference throwing the football.
I tell you what, there's for a lot of bragging rights out there between these two teams today and these two quarterbacks.
Time Garcia's dropped. That's Melvin Hunter. The Ron Lancaster field should get all-star consideration. And it's his 6th sack of the year.
6'3", 234 pounds out of Wisconsin. Just gets everything done for the Edmonton Eskimos. Great speed, gets upfield, and he's a very coachable, tremendously disciplined athlete.
Forces a punting situation. Tony Martino in for the first time today. And Lucius Floyd, the DI for Edmonton, is back. Check that Blount, and he'll chase it down through the end zone, and Martino has a single point. And it's now the Stampeders up 19-1.
I will not feel shame. You're in, man.
You're angel, right? Cool. Annihilate that bastard.
I live under the sun and the moon.
I'm his neighbor.
Who's gonna pick up the pieces?
Whose side are you on?
New quarterback for the Edmonton Eskimos, Kerwin Bell, is off the bench. And his first throw in the flat, and it gets to Shalon Baker for a first down. Kid out of Montana has his 2nd catch, and Bell's moving the yardsticks with his first completion.
Gutsy call after what he saw this Calgary's two corners do the first 2 outs that were thrown. They almost picked off and gone back for touchdowns, and he comes back and he challenges Coleman on the other side. Kerwin Bell probably with a little stronger arm than Vargas.
Now Blount on the draw play across the 50 to the 53-yard line. Gain of close to 7. Well, Bell's got something to prove. He started the first 6 games for the Eskimos. Then Ron Lancaster made the switch to Vargas. Bell, frankly, wasn't happy about the decision.
Well, I think not, but obviously he wasn't getting the job done. So now this may be his opportunity to win the starting job back.
2nd down, and that's over the head of Jim Sandusky. 2nd and 4, but Bell was under siege from Will Johnson. 3-minute warning given to the benches here first half.
3rd down and 4 for the Eskimos.
Before you roll on the paint, see your neighborhood home hardware dealer.
We're Canada's paint experts.
Pick up Weather Shield acrylic driveway sealer.
Homemade in our very own plant.
Resists gasoline, oil, and salt. Only $10.77.
Name brand quality. Beauty Tone goes to the industry's toughest testing.
900 dealer buying power.
Guarantees a great price.
Home Hardware, home of Canada's paint experts.
Price, friendly advice at Home Hardware.
We can have the door opening on the line.
Scorcher today.
Margaret Atwood's wickedly funny novel, The Robber Bride,
I'd like to do that one more time, please.
becomes a CBC radio drama
This will be scene 4, take 1.
Middle East special?
with Alberta Watson,
Senior's dead.
Sheila McCarthy, Janet Lane Green,
What is she doing here?
and Sarah Botsford.
Very nice, that's it.
The Robber Bride starts September 5th on CBC Radio.
Wednesday, Canadian peacekeepers face incredible challenges in the splintered territory of the former Yugoslavia.
It is a dangerous job.
A two-part series produced by the National Film Board. Protection Force, Wednesday on CBC.
Now it's your turn to talk.
Witness someone ready to have sex. Join us, the kids from Degrassi.
A repeat series.
What would you do if you were being abused?
As we talk to teens about topics that matter.
Degrassi Talks.
Tonight at 9 on CBC.
Here's what's in store for the BF Goodrich TA halftime. Larry Ruck, the Eskimo career-leading tackler, the anchorman of the CFL's best defense, having trouble today, and we'll preview the Toronto-San Antonio Game 2 of our Labor Day doubleheader. Chris?
Well, heat on Bob Opilovich and the Toronto Argonauts to get things going after Labor Day. Wilt Johnson sizing things up after tracking down Kerwin Bell, forcing this punting situation. Harper angling it out of bounds. 2:31 to go, first half. And the Stampeders up 19-1.
Not the kind of kick that you want to have in a game like this. You would think that it's only a 29-yard punt for Glenn Harper came in with a 39-yard average. Big teams like this that play great defense, the big key that happens a lot is who wins the special teams games. And right now, you need to have a guy like Glenn Harper, when their offense is sputtering enough, to be able to boom out some howitzers out there to get the balls deep and at least try to make Jeff Garcia start on as long a field as possible.
At the 29. The six-pack deployed by Garcia. And over the middle, Tony Stewart with the catch, and he fights his way near the first down stick before Willie Pless wraps him up.
Tony Stewart. And this may be the kind of offensive strategy that you're going to see Jeff Garcia start to take now a little bit, trying to see if he can take advantage in the middle because they're taking Larry Ruck, and one of the linebackers try to slide out to get some underneath coverage against a guy like Alan Pitts, so it makes that middle very vulnerable.
Great 12-year veteran, Larry Ruck. Garcia dumps it off. There's Stewart. Cut down. Nice play by Darian Hagan. And he drops Stewart for a loss. And Ron Lancaster can't say enough good things about number 4 in the Eskimos secondary.
Just a terrific athlete. This guy could do it all. Quarterback, he's a defensive back. When he was with Colorado, he was the first guy, the sixth guy in NCAA history to ever be able to rush and pass for over 1,000 yards. That was in 1990 when Colorado was the national champ.
He's really found a home at defensive back with Edmonton. 2nd and 10. Garcia over the middle. There's Sapunjas. And Larry Ruck brings him to the turf. That'll move the sticks. Dave Sapunjas, the CFL's leading receiver. And he's over 1,000 yards on the year.
Just give advantage right now to Calgary and Jeff Garcia and that offense, because they really have Edmonton's defense guessing to where the ball's going to be thrown or where it's going to be run on the next play.
Well, he's a close friend of Doug Flutie's, but he said last week's win over Birmingham, one of the most satisfying of his career. There's a pass for Danielson, and Hagan was all over Big 88. And it's incomplete. But this Calgary team has heard so often that they are Doug Flutie and the rest of them, and under Jeff Garcia, they have a chance to prove that they're a lot more than that.
Well, I think that it's not one man that's going to make the whole team, but anytime you have a man like that pulling the trigger as a quarterback, you sure stand a better chance of winning a lot of football games. But this is a young quarterback here that has a tremendous amount of potential, and he's surrounded by veterans, and these are some guys that can get it done. Primarily, even if the offense sputters somewhat, that they have such a good defense, they keep getting the ball back into the offense's hands. It gives him a lot of opportunities to make something happen.
That's Len Williams. He is the backup quarterback in Flutie's absence, and Garcia electing to use the timeout with 1:24 to go. He wanted to make sure he had the right play call. He'll consult with Flutie when Edmonton's on the field to ask him what he sees out there defensively. Flutie with some input, and of course Huffnagel calling the signals, except during the hurry-up offensive situation, and that was the scheme they were just in.
You can just imagine what's going on internally with Doug Flutie right now. A position he is not very familiar being is on the sideline.
2nd and 10, and Garcia going deep. Terry Vaughn can't track it down. Out there on the corner against John Holland.
It's 3rd down.
And Holland letting him know that if it was catchable, he would have been there.
Well, I tell you what, Terry Vaughn had about 3 steps on Holland, and if he was able to keep that ball to the inside, the young quarterback had led him toward the post just a little bit more, as opposed to throwing it over the outside shoulder, then that would allow the receiver to create a little more void between he and the cornerback. Then that catch becomes very catchable. That pass becomes very catchable for Calgary.
Martino blasted the last one. This one not as deep, and Blount. That is 10. And a wave of red downfield. That's Ray Biggs, who leads Calgary in special team tackles. Greg Frere's there as well, and a 47-yard boot by Martino. 1:07 left, first half. The Eskimos need a spark, but they're going to start deep in their own zone.
Ray Biggs leads this Calgary defense on special teams tackles. This Calgary defense plays big-time special teams every time they play against the Edmonton Eskimos. They're just hoping that the Giz was back there because they have shut him out over the past Labor Day games.
Kerwin Bell back in, trying to improve that stat for Edmonton. Just 82 yards of total offense. Airing it out, but Baker had stopped up, and that one into the Eskimo bench, incomplete.
Deep down the sideline. Shalon Baker is in the area. It's 2nd and 10.
Shalon Baker, one of 3 new receivers this year for Edmonton, and he has been the best. C.J. Davis inside, and Nick Mazzoli have given them a little more punch. This Eskimo team, there's Mazzoli. They've scored 95 points in the last 2 games, but just 1 so far today. Here's Blount. And Eric Blount breaking away, running to daylight. Foot race. Gerald Vaughn was the only man with a chance. Maybe Coleman. No! Touchdown, Blount. 99 yards.
With a 99 yards.
And the Eskimos have some life.
What a good play. They're expecting to put the heat on Kerwin Bell, and he dumps it off. Blount makes an excellent cut in there, but some poor tackling by Calgary. They come in there, and they try to just lower the shoulder. No one's going to wrap up, and I think that was number 30, Kenton Leonard, that misses the tackle, and that allows this guy to break free. He's got great speed and does an excellent job of getting the ball into the end zone on the foot race.
Lucius Floyd had a 100-yard touchdown earlier this year. And now teammate Eric Blount has a 99-yarder, and it couldn't have come at a better time. 45 seconds to go first half. And it's now 19-8, and the Eskimos have a little better taste in their mouth as they're getting set to go to the dressing room for halftime.
2nd and long, Calgary's continue to play back in the zone and force them to throw it underneath. But the one key point to when they do throw the ball underneath, you got to go up there, react, pursuit, and make the tackle. Calgary did not get that job done on that particular play.
About a North Carolina, just his second game. He arrived around Labor Day a year ago. Worked hard on the practice roster, almost won a job against Lucius Floyd during the training camp. Ron Lancaster said it was dead even, so he went with the veteran, but Blount making the most of his chance.
First guy in the ACC conference, the second in UNC's history, and the fifth in the NCAA to have a punt return and a kickoff return, both for touchdowns in the same game. This guy is used to getting the ball in the end zone.
Now they tried a short kick last week successfully against Ottawa. Fleming kicks this away. Marvin Coleman. Met at the 25. Brian Walling led the wave downfield.
67-yard kick by the Eskimos.
Now, Kep, there's 40 seconds left. Calgary has dominated the first half, but now find their lead at 11. Does Jeff Garcia just play it conservative, or do they try and answer back?
You come right back and you put Alan Pitts over there against Trent Brown, and you throw it for as many times as you can during that 40 seconds. And that's not picking on Trent Brown. That's just the fact that you've got to go to the weakest link right now, and unfortunately, he happens to be it.
Trent Brown playing out of position because of the disqualification of Glenn Roger Jr. Well, they try the sweep, cut back Stewart, and Tony Stewart has 12, put it on the ground. Eskimos think they've got the ball. Apparently, the whistle blew, and this has been a problem for Tony Stewart. He's fumbled 5 times this year. Lost 3 of them, and he said yesterday, I have to play mistake-free football.
There is nothing else more important that makes a player fall out of the grace of the head coach than fumbling the football, and Tony Stewart has had his fair share of problems with that.
Fortunate, though, that the whistle had gone. First down, Garcia wide open is Terry Vaughn. Vaughn's got to get out of bounds. And I think he just did. Davis Reed, Darian Hagan on the tackle. It's a first down, 22 seconds to go. And the Stampeders trying to get some points back.
First and 10 at the Calgary 49.
At the 49-yard line. You heard it from Wally Buono.
Chance for a field goal. We just got to get the ball up the field about 15 yards, maybe 10 yards. Give Mark McLaughlin a chance to stretch that leg out a bit.
Can you say Alan Pitts?
Well, they got the double coverage out in the areas. Maybe look for Sponge.
Oh, kept on the money. Just like Garcia. And it's another first down. John Kalin helping out in coverage. I was wrong, but Kepley and ISO director Bud Stanton right on it.
Take a look. Larry Ruck's going to come out and try to get underneath this, but when Dave Surprise makes that break across the middle, he's got a great burst of speed to create just enough cushion that allows Jeff Garcia to get that ball in there.
Under 10 seconds to go, close to McLaughlin field goal range. Pitts can't bring it down. Well, it is caught. How do you like that? 1 second left on the clock. There's a flag down. Pee-wee on the tip drill. Let's see what the flag's all about.
I think we're going to get pass interference against Edmonton. Let's see if it was called on the other side. To the right-hand side of your screen, he's trying to throw the out to Alan Pitts. He gets one hand up. It tips off John Holland, but all of a sudden, Pee-wee Smith, great presence of mind to be able to pick up the tip. Makes the reception.
Deliberate force on pass interference, Edmonton number 17. Penalties decline. First down.
Yeah, that was in the hands of 3 guys. Holland called on the pass interference, and Mark McLaughlin is called upon for the 3rd time.
Mark McLaughlin.
And this will be from just outside the 35.
Should be well within his range. His longest has been 52. His first kick just really wasn't that good, though.
This one's okay. And after the big touchdown by Blount, the Stampeders do get 3 back. It's halftime at McMahon Stadium. A sellout crowd enjoying this one as the hometown Stampeders go to the dressing room with a 14-point lead.
BF Goodrich TA Performance Radio now gives you more performance than ever. Thanks to up-to-the-minute G-Wedge technology, it delivers exceptional road handling control in even the tightest turns. The BF Goodrich TA Radio. Nothing stops it from performing. Well, almost nothing.
Never seen green Listerine before? That's new Fresh Burst Listerine. With a sensational burst of mint to kill the germs that cause bad breath. Come on, don't be chicken. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Wake up the new Fresh Burst Listerine.
From Spruce Meadows, they will compete for their country in the Bank of Montreal Nations Cup. Then, the richest event in show jumping, the De Maurier Limited International. The $1 Million Weekend starting Saturday. CBC Sports, your Olympic network.
As the Soviet Empire crumbles before our eyes, CBC television takes you back behind the Iron Curtain to the era of Joseph Stalin.
The people must not be allowed to forget me.
Alexander Solzhenitsyn's epic novel of passion and intrigue in a time of terror.
Arrest anyone who looks suspicious.
Robert Powell, F. Murray Abraham, and Christopher Plummer. The First Circle, a two-part miniseries, Sunday.
Until recently, stomach ulcers were blamed on stress and bad diet. Then, an Australian doctor found bacteria to be the most frequent cause and antibiotics the cure. He had a fight on his hands to convince the medical establishment, but he proved his theory by infecting himself with a bacteria cocktail, then curing himself. Watch Ulcer Wars, Thursday, on The Nature of Things with David Suzuki.
Native Canadians have had to cope with decades of forced adoption into white families.
They ship them out for our children to be abused emotionally, sexually.
I guess it's somebody who's been lost for a lot of years.
Now, many Native groups want those children back.
We're merely trying to bring that child home to where it belongs.
Whose child is this? Tuesday night at 8 on Witness.
Welcome to the BF Goodrich TA Halftime. Now, here's your host, Scott Oak.
Back live at McMahon Stadium, where the Stampeders lead the Eskimos 22-8 at halftime in the Labor Day Classic. 2 games yesterday in the CFL. Let's start first by taking you to Regina, the scene of the Labor Day weekend clash between Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. A record crowd of 31,308 at Taylor Field, and this was a nightmare. First, Brian Randall picks off Reggie Slack late in the second quarter and returns it all the way for a touchdown. Blaze Bryant gives up at 22-0 at the half, Saskatchewan. Then, second half, this is Dan Farthey picking up a halfback wide receiver option, whatever that was, for a touchdown. It's 36-0. The route is on. Then Ray Elgard, his second touchdown catch of the game, and unbelievably of the season, the worst loss for the Blue Bombers, 56-4 in team history. The other game at Shreveport, Memphis defeating the Shreveport Pirates 31-22. Pirates now 5-6 and in third place in the South Division. While here in the West, defense has always been the strong suit of the Edmonton Eskimos. When it comes to linebackers, they make the mold. Kepley, Bass, and now Larry Ruck.
In a few words, I'd have to describe myself as just kind of your average everyday guy, honest, hardworking. I guess I enjoy the competition. You know, there's lots of highs and lows in football, certainly, and you can't really appreciate the highs without experiencing the lows. But when you go out there and on Sunday or on game day and be able to dominate a football team and pretty much do everything that you'd set out to do, I'd tell you that's a pretty good feeling. I guess I've only missed a couple of games because a couple of reasons. I guess I've been blessed with the genetics from my parents that I have, you know, the type of body makeup, I guess, that's pretty resilient. And of course, hours and hours spent in the weight room. You've got to get in the weight room, especially during the season. Not so much to build your strength up so much, but to prevent injuries. My job outside of football has been Edmonton Freightliner here for the past 3 years. I try and go in the office every day that we're in town. I go in there in the mornings from 8 till 1 or so, and then it's, you know, over to my my other lifestyle, which is football, which is vastly different from the real world. There's a lot of pressure in professional sports. There's no question. There's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure from not only yourself, the organization, the fans, everyone involved. There's a lot of stress there, and you need something sort of as a release, as a way to get it all away from it all and escape. And I find if I go out and play a round of golf, that really does the trick for me. Anytime I can sort of just forget about it, even if it's just for a few hours, it helps me a great deal. I try and play as aggressive as possible, and I think that's what's got me to where I am today. I've always been that way, and ever since I pulled on my first helmet.
From junior football on the prairies to the best pro defense in the country, Larry Ruck continues to add to his Eskimo career record for tackles. It's 568 and counting, with 2 more today, just like this one on Dave Sapunjas in the first half. Calgary leading the Eskimos 22-8 at the half. We're back right after this.
The landscaping fell victim to the insect plague of 2004. Around 2019, a new use was found for automobiles. And by 2030, the house was on its 7th paint job. In truth, about all that's lasted since 1995 is the lifetime finish on the Wiser Brilliance brass handle set. Wiser Brilliance, weathers a lifetime.
I like the idea of news in the morning. You're telling people something they actually don't know, what's been happening overnight, but also to jump right on a story as soon as it breaks and get to know as much about it as fast as we can. It's new, and you're just starting to understand it. People get up in the morning, reach for the coffee, turn on the television set, and bang, the news is there. It's fresh.
The CBC Morning News with Bill Cameron, starting September 11th on CBC Television.
Hi, I'm Stephen Hunter. On the next edition of The Health Show, chlamydia. Heard of it?
I've never heard someone really stressed getting the disease chlamydia.
Well, it's rampant among teenagers. The Health Show, Thursday.
Tuesday on Man Alive, the resilient child.
I think I'm just maybe an average person. I went through some tough times, but that's what life is.
That's Tuesday on Man Alive.
Single step, that's how the journey starts. With every step, we dedicate our heart. The dream lives in you and me. Make every step count. Canada walks for life.
Join in the fight against AIDS.
Make every step count. Canada walks for life.
Join in the Walk for Life.
According to Dad's expectations, there is no second best.
A kid from Montreal set out to become the best in the world.
It's a bond that is very hard to describe.
A film portrait of Oscar Peterson. In the Key of Oscar, Wednesday.
You've been found in an illegal gaming house, Mr. Montour. You're under arrest.
You're going to pay for this.
You step over the line one more time, and you're gone.
This is serious.
North of 60, Thursday at 9.
Just about a full house basking in the sunshine here in Calgary at McMahon Stadium, where the Stampeders have a 14-point lead at the half of the Labor Day Classic. Coming right up after this game, we'll take you to Toronto for Game 2 of our Labor Day double dip. Bob Obilovich making his return to the Argo sidelines. Can Obi put the wind in the Argo sails? Here's Scott Oak in Toronto.
Mark, the San Antonio Texans are 500, but many suspect better than that when David Archer is on his game, and Archer knows he and his teammates must be on at Skydome this evening.
We feel like that we control a lot of what happens for us in the South for the next 9 ball games or next 8 ball games. So all those things factor into our level being raised, I think it's going to be a good football game. I think you're going to see two good football teams going after it, and Toronto's still in a good situation. They get a little bit of a roll. All of a sudden, they jump into a playoff spot, and they can cause some people some problems, too. So I think for us, it's playoff implications is what we think about every week from here on out.
And the Argos need a win. It is a team with talent, including quarterback Kent Austin, but he and his mates are caught in a nightmare.
I don't feel like we ran an offense that was conducive to my style, and you know, everybody says, well, offense is just execution. If you go out there and execute, you know, what you're given, then you know, you'll have success. And I'm not a believer in that. I believe you have to put your players in a position to win, and then do some things that get the most out of your players' skills, and I think we're slowly gravitating towards that.
Historically, in the first game after a coaching change, teams play at a higher level, and the Argos are banking on that today with Bob Obilovich back on the sidelines, he having dispatched Mike Farragelli last week. David Archer made reference to it, and it's true. It's not too late for the Argos. If they win this evening, they're 3-7 and in a three-way tie for the final playoff spot in the North. Mark, I'll leave you with this. It's a gorgeous day in Southern Ontario, so the roof is open at the Sky Dome, just as it is at McMahon Stadium. Back to you.
Right you are, Scott. It's always a big sky here in the West at the Labor Day Classic. A 14-point lead for the Stampeders in Game 1. Looking forward to joining you at 6 Eastern with the Argos and Texans. Right now, for their thoughts on the first half of this ball game, let's go to the broadcast booth and join Danny and Chris.
Well, Mark Kemp, I almost feel like the score flatters the Eskimos through one half of football, but that ejection of Glenn Rogers Jr. set the course for the entire first half.
Well, it really did. It's a monumental play, and we now find out that it was a kick after the play, but even if it was, it's a bogus call. It just turned this whole complexion of the first half of this ball game around.
And then the Stampeders started to steamroll, and the guy who scores the first touchdown, believe it or not, his first CFL touchdown, it was Marvin Pope with a nice little pass from Jeff Garcia.
Tell you what, as I said, taking a little page out of the textbook of the Edmonton Eskimos using Willie Pless, Jeff Garcia had some heat, and then all of a sudden, Big Daddy's in the end zone all by himself. Good catch, great hands.
Now, the Stampeders continue to roll with Garcia because Glenn Rogers is out. Trent Brown ends up having to try and control Alan Pitts.
Just get ready, because we're going to mention those two names a lot in the second half, and Alan Pitts turns the best of defenders around, more or less a guy that has to come over from the safety position.
But one late play by the Eskimos makes the second half an interesting one.
Calgary gets the kind of defense that they want. They want to throw the ball in front of them. Then they just make poor tackling. But to his credit, Eric Blunt does an excellent job breaking the tackles, gets down the field, shows some tremendous speed, and gives Edmonton a little bit of an optimistic view going in at the halftime.
Well, we'll find out if the Eskimos can use that as a springboard in the second half. Mark?
Chris, Jeff Garcia showing his savvy, taking advantage of the Glenn Rogers Jr. ejection. He's engineered a 14-point lead at the half. The kickoff is next.
We're the experts when it comes to saving. We're in the aircraft parts business, a son and pop operation. AGT does help us. 99.9% of the business we do is through the phone or the fax. You can jump in there, right?
I mean, we live and die by the phone. 3 minutes in Alberta only cost us 99 cents.
We've shopped around.
We save money and we save time and aggravation using AGT.
Anytime you can get long-distance telephone service anywhere in Alberta for less than $1, you've got a good deal.
The B.F. Goodrich TA Performance Radio now gives you more performance than ever. Thanks to up-to-the-minute G-Wedge technology, it delivers exceptional road handling control in even the tightest turns. The B.F. Goodrich TA Radio. Nothing stops it from performing. Well, almost nothing.
At Home Building Center, we see every home improvement job as a big job. Sir, what does big mean to you?
500 feet of fencing.
Whoa, big plans, man?
Oh, yeah, 10 houses to drywall.
Planning a big entrance?
No, I'm putting in a new door.
Ah, right. The Homewood Projects Guide is available now at participating dealers with over 40 all-wood do-it-yourself projects from Select Home Designs.
If you have big plans, we have friendly advice and a great price.
With Canada's largest group of building supply dealers, you can always plan on home.
Native Canadians have had to cope with decades of forced adoption into white families.
They ship them out for our children to be abused emotionally, sexually.
I guess it's somebody who's been lost for a lot of years.
Now, many Native groups want those children back.
We're merely trying to bring that child home to where it belongs.
Whose child is this? Tuesday night at 8 on Witness.
Machines think fast, work efficiently, and make few errors. Technology is rapidly replacing workers. Will it eliminate your job? Are we becoming a jobless society? A Labor Day special on the National Magazine tonight at 10.
Women feel so terribly used and taken advantage of.
The Norplant contraceptive.
You're safe for 5 years.
Miracle birth control.
I just wish I never would have gotten it.
Or a prescription for disaster. Tuesday on Marketplace. The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by B.F. Goodrich TA. Performance. Serious performance.
Welcome back to McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Second half about to begin with the kickoff from Mark McLaughlin. And Eric Blount, who dazzled us with that 99-yard touchdown, has the football. Over the 30 to the 32. And the Eskimos go back to work. Greg Knox with a tackle on Blount. The Eskimos back to work on offense with Kerwin Bell at the controls in relief of Chris Vargas.
See the numbers when that short stint that he had in the first half, 2 of 4 for 110 yards. Most of that yardage coming on the 99-yard screen pass to Eric Blount.
Empty backfield, and Bell with the heat on, got away from Patterson, and throws incomplete. He's just lucky to get that one away.
White in the backfield, tried to dish it off to Eric Blount, but it was out of his reach.
There's the newcomer, Dwayne Patterson, out of Washington State.
Now this guy is a player. You get a wide open shot at a backside of a quarterback who's not very mobile. He doesn't have to make very much move when the guy's going full speed like that as a defender. Just one little sidestep, and he's able to buy a little extra time.
2nd and 10, and here they come again. Ball passed over the middle for C.J. Davis, incomplete, and Eskimos looking for a penalty. The Stampeders not penalized once in the first half.
It's incomplete.
And Vargas on the headphones.
Well, this is, unfortunately for him, a position that he was very familiar to at the beginning of this season, because Kerwin Bell was signed as the guy to be the #1 quarterback. And the youngster has come up and really played extremely well and got an opportunity to show himself. It's a good tandem right now, so now Kerwin Bell has an opportunity to try to get his starting position back.
Interesting part of that last graphic, they have not completed a pass to a slot back today. There's a better kick by Harper. That's a beauty. And Marvin Coleman inside his 20. Past the first wave, and he's dangerous. The slippery Marvin Coleman across midfield. And that's a big tackle by Malvin Hunter. Well, the Stamps get instant field position to start the second half. It's a 40-yard return by number 17, Marvin Coleman, who's 3rd in punt returns in the CFL this year.
The Eskimos get a little help with the big booming kick. They have great coverage, but then the Calgary special teams does such an excellent job. They have a guy back there that they know once he gets his hands on the ball, all I have to do is if I make my block, Coleman can break it and take it to the house at any point in time. Good look at Jeff Reinbold, the special teams coach, and you can see the frustration that he's showing.
Garcia's first pass, second half, Pitts, and almost picked off the outstretched hand of Pitts into the arms of Trent Brown. But onto the turf incomplete. Garcia has not thrown an interception this year. A couple of touchdowns today, 7 on the season, and he's over 1,000 yards passing on the year.
Chris, we talked a bit about the offensive lines of both this team. Whichever one has the success in taking the heat and cooling it off are going to be the most productive offensively. And right now, Calgary has had that opportunity. They are really limiting what Edmonton can do defensively as far as heat-wise.
Pass behind Sapunjis.
Garcia's pass
Off
number
his
25
fingertips,
gains the
incomplete.
punch, is incomplete.
And it brings up third down.
On the coverage, number 19.
Good success, though, for Garcia inside to the slots today. Pitts has been a prime receiver, and Sapunjus the second favorite target.
Jeff Garcia really wanted to have that pass back. He had the sponge down there, squatting down in the zone, right in the open area where he did, and he just threw the ball behind him. And we talked about some exciting players right now. Shalon Baker, this is a guy that can also, once he gets his hands on the ball, has got great speed and can make a lot of things happen.
See what he does here. Comes up and gets the no yards. Takes a big hit from Greg Prayers, the reserve safety, but they'll tack 15 on for no yards. We're 3 minutes in to this second half.
The BF Goodrich TA Performance Radio now gives you more performance than ever. Thanks to up-to-the-minute G-Wedge technology, it delivers exceptional road handling control in even the tightest turns. The BF Goodrich TA Radio. Nothing stops it from performing. Well, almost nothing.
Attention Internet users, memorize this website. You're about to make a CBC television and radio connection. Interact with Canada's network. Get behind the scenes. The latest on CBC personalities. The scoop on shows and development. Up-to-date news. Plug into CBC's program through email. You're on the fastest moving television highway in Canada. CBC Television and Radio, now in digital perspective.
Tomorrow night on CBC Television, starting at 7, join Wayne Rostad.
We're on the road again.
Then at 7:30, join Bill Paul and Jackie Perrin for Marketplace. And at 8, it's Witness.
Good evening, I'm Milton Nash. Tonight's documentary...
Next at 9, Man Alive.
The human journey continues.
And at 9:30, it's sensational comedy on Just for Laughs.
So funny.
And it's all on CBC starting at 7 tomorrow night.
Year after year, it always seems to be perfect on Labor Day in Calgary. Weather-wise, sellout crowd at McMahon Stadium. And for the most part, but for the 1,000 or so that drove down from Edmonton, it's been a good day.
Good day for a drive so far. That's about what it's been worth so far in this first half.
Here's Bell to Lucius Floyd. Flag goes down. And Floyd bouncing off the longer Johnson.
Number 33 takes the pass to lose a few tacklers before he runs into Marvin Polk. There is a flag down.
AJ came over there like one of those heat-seeking missiles and just absolutely leveled.
Legal contact, Calgary, number 91 on the receiver. Penalty is declined. First down.
Marvin Pope called, and it's a first down. So Lucius Floyd is in. A tender ankle kept him out last week. He was a little concerned about how much he could cut on the ankle.
Everybody on the count of 3 to yell, huddle up.
Here's the pass to Sandusky. That's his first reception of the game across midfield.
Jim Sandusky, number 7, takes the pass.
Al Jordan with the tackle, and the veteran Sandusky with his first catch, looking for his first 100-yard game of the year.
Chris Ron Lancaster felt that what they had to do offensively a little bit, slide the pocket ever so slightly, get some slide blocking up front, throw the quick outs and hot stuff to their receivers, because that's the time that they were going to have. They're not going to have a lot of time to stand in the pocket.
Here's a wide open receiver, and it's Nick Mazzoli with his first catch. So Kerwin Bell, back-to-back completions.
Gerald Brown, number 38, Marvin Polk, 91, combined for the stop.
Got to be very disappointing for Nick Mazzoli. This is his first catch so far in this game. Last week, as you can see, 6 catches, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns. He just turned the house out up in Commonwealth Stadium.
Having his best career season.
Football team.
And that's Reko Zizakovic down. Pat Clayton out looking at his ankle.
You're downtown. Calgary Stampeders 0.
Just over 3 minutes into this second half at McMahon Stadium. The Stampeders up by 14. Frank Spaziani, the defensive coordinator, taking this time out. Get some instructions in.
1995, the Calgary Stampeder Football Club asked our season ticket members to join forces to become Stampeder Red Boosters and help recruit new members to come to the game.
And Srecko is on his feet.
Draw a name from all the Red Boosters who participated for a trip for
Had a Labor Day touchdown back in 1991.
Champion BC Lions.
Had a 36-yard interception touchdown against Ottawa earlier in the season, and you can see just how involved every time that Garcia comes to the sideline, the first guy that he's in his ear is Doug Flutie, talking to him, and maybe he may be redundant in what he's saying, but he want to make sure that he is seeing Garcia is seeing exactly what Doug Flutie is seeing on the sideline.
First down for the Eskimos, 1st and 10 from the Calgary 39.
Deepest drive for the Eskimos today. Lucius Floyd gets the call and has a hole. And Floyd powers his way inside the 25-yard line. That's a pickup of 16.
Ripped off a 15-yard gain.
Good rush off that left side. Now, this is the thing he did. Kerwin Bell had slid out there before and threw the out. Now he's going to slide out a bit. Give the draw play to Lucius Floyd. Good blocking up front by Green and Hendrickson. Hendrickson, the left guard, was very slow getting up, but they don't have anybody else. You've got to stay in there and play.
First down, Bell. Sidearms out, almost picked off. Gerald Vaughn stretched out, couldn't bring it in. Bell looked a little like Flutie there, kind of across the side of his body.
The only thing I got a question right there, you've got Baker is over there. He's covered. Now you're trying to throw the ball away. Throw the ball up into the stands somewhere. Don't throw it into the playing field where now 2 Calgary defenders has a chance to pick it off.
2nd and 10. Here comes the heat. Ditching it off to Floyd. And Lucius stopped up. Stu Laird finished him off. Kenny Walker hanging on. Alondra Johnson in the neighborhood.
What terrific acceleration and pursuit down the line of scrimmage by Walker and Stu Laird both. Read that screen beautifully.
And Bell is upset. Perhaps. Well, looked like somebody missed an assignment.
Well, as much as he thinks that somebody up there may have missed an assignment and had to make a block on one of those guys, as I said, Walker and Stu Laird played it perfectly to shut it down to no gain.
Sean Fleming puts it through from 30 yards out, and these Eskimos have some life. It's 22-11. We're early second half.
At McDonald's, there's something new this month. Introducing September's Taste of the Month, McOnion Bits. They're tasty, bite-sized pieces of sweet onion deep-fried to a golden brown. Any old onion can make you cry. McOnion Bits can make you smile.
As the Soviet Empire crumbles before our eyes, CBC Television takes you back behind the Iron Curtain to the era of Joseph Stalin.
The people must not be allowed to forget me.
Alexander Solzhenitsyn's epic novel of passion and intrigue in a time of terror.
Arrest anyone who looks suspicious.
Robert Powell, F. Murray Abraham, and Christopher Plummer. The First Circle, a 2-part miniseries, Sunday.
Catch the action of Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC. Join our on-air team.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Williams along with Tommy Hutton. Welcome to Skydome.
Detroit squares off against Toronto in the Dome, Friday at 8 Eastern.
A daring escape
We have to get my father out of prison.
leaves only one choice.
I'm going to follow my father to America.
But Lucas is not alone.
Cook, quarter stowaway, Captain Harris.
Lucas?
By Way of the Stars continues Sunday.
Welcome back to McMahon. In case you joined us late, Big Daddy Marvin Pope, star on defense for Calgary, got the first touchdown of the game. Play-action pass from Jeff Garcia. McLaughlin added a field goal, and then it was Garcia to Pitts. Alan Pitts, now the all-time leading receiver with Calgary. Blount got the 99-yarder to get the Eskimos back in the game prior to the end of the first half. A last-second field goal made it 22-8. Tony Stewart with the carry on first down up to the 39, gain of 4. And in the second half, a Sean Fleming 30-yard field goal makes it 22-11.
Willie Quest, number 39. Tony Woods, number 91, also in on that.
Good production that time as far as the offensive line getting off, trying to catch Edmonton a little bit off guard by rushing the ball on 1st and 10 as opposed to throwing it. But Edmonton reacting very well to the play and shut Stewart down for a gain of about 4 yards.
Stampeders have won the last 2 Labor Day Classics. Eskimos winning in 92. Here's Terry Vaughn with the first down. And Vaughn coughs it up. Eskimos have the football, at least that's the indication at the green and gold bench. And they do. And you can feel a real momentum shift here, Kep, and it started with the Blount 99-yarder. Willie Pless has come up with the football.
Big turnover, and that's the kind of thing you have to do defensively. When your offense is sputtering, and it's the thing, go out, make a turnover, make a big play, stop them on down, get the ball back into the offense's hands as quickly as you can. You can see where Vaughn's carrying the ball on the inside. Okay, and that allows where all the heat's coming from and the pursuit, and that's Willie Pless was able to get the hands on it, strip it down, and give Kerwin Bell 1st and 10 on the 51.
Bell's got the heat on, gets away. That's a live football and an incomplete pass as Patterson missed Bell, and so did Alondra Johnson.
A lot of heat in there. Kerwin Bell is just a pretty easy target to hit. He's going to come out here, scramble out, naked bootleg, and he wants to throw back, but you got to get rid of the ball quickly. He just does not have the foot speed to be able to get away from this very strong and fast defense, led by that guy right there, Alondra Johnson.
2nd and 10. Here they come again. Bell getting away deep. C.J. Davis. And Davis, touchdown.
To number 75, Davis.
Kerwin Bell to C.J. Davis, and the Eskimos right back in it.
Good job up front by the Eskimo offensive line as far as buying a little extra time. Kerwin Bell had to move the pocket around. That allowed Davis to do the post corner behind Gerald Vaughn. And it was just a foot race as Kerwin Bell hung it up there, and C.J. Davis was able to get underneath it.
Fleming to add the point after. And the Eskimos are right back in this Labor Day Classic. It's 22-18.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Tacoma.
Good look. Now he wants to throw to the front side. Look where the eyes are going. Now he squats down, turns his feet around, and he happens to catch C.J. Davis way behind Gerald Vaughn in the corner. The ball gets aired out. Great strong arm by Kerwin Bell. C.J. Davis, for his 2nd touchdown of the year, looks this ball in and gets it into the end zone for the Major.
53-yard touchdown pass. Davis got his first CFL touchdown a week ago, and Ron Lancaster said yesterday he felt that Davis was getting better each week as he started to find his niche in this offense.
One of the key things that he said about guys that had really surprised him was C.J. Davis, Nick Mazzoli, and then also Shalon Baker. 3 new receivers to a core along with Sandusky, who had not been very productive over the past couple of years.
Well, Kerwin Bell has sparked the Eskimos. C.J. Davis, celebrating his 26th birthday today, has a big touchdown. Marvin Coleman, a couple of yards deep. Great kickoff by Fleming. And Coleman doesn't get out to the 20. Robert Holland, 19 yards on the
kickoff by Sean Fleming drove Coleman about 3 yards deep into that end zone, and that allowed that coverage team to get down there, led by Holland.
Kind of puts a different complexion on things now.
You got a ball game. Don't go anywhere, folks. Not even to the fridge.
He turned up now on Jeff Garcia. Let's see what kind of lift the Eskimos defense gets from this. Pressure on. Garcia threads the needle to Pitts. First down. You know, Kev, I asked Stu Laird yesterday, were you surprised by Garcia? And he said, you know, we watched him run the scout team every week, and all he did was thread the needle time after time, and he did it there.
When you've got a guy like him that runs that scout team, as you just said, and he runs it with a lot of pride, he goes out there and works extremely hard. That's why the Calgary defense is playing so well, because they do have to work hard in practice. This will be the go-to guy right now that you're going to see. Alan Pitt, 7th catch for 105 yards, 1 big touchdown in the first half.
First down, Garcia rolling. Danielson open. Hagan hanging on, and Danielson's a tough guy to bring down. Vince, 6'4", 210, the former quarterback of the UBC Thunderbirds with the catch, and he'll move the sticks for the Stamps.
It has taken a couple of years for Danielson to get the confidence of a guy like Doug Flutie to be the go-to guy also. He is the 5th guy in their 5-pack receiving core now, and it will be a very short time that he can build up his confidence and his rapport with a young quarterback.
Yep, this
like
could
Jeff
be a,
Garcia.
Excuse me, this could be a real problem. Trent Brown now down, and the Eskimos don't have any more defensive backs.
The only guy that they may be able to substitute in there somewhere is Singor Mobley, that they may have to put in somewhere, which would possibly be, I would suggest, if hopefully that Trent Brown would be okay for the Eskimos cause. Singor could possibly play the safety, move over John Kalin to the halfback, but then that would really limit what Edmonton could do defensively. You're going to have to see a lot of zone.
Ian Hallworth taking a serious look at the right knee of Trent Brown, who's been on the hot seat today since the ejection of Glenn Rogers. We'll take a break. Timeout. Pat McMahon.
From Spruce Meadows, they will compete for their country in the Bank of Montreal Nations Cup. Then, the richest event in show jumping, the Du Maurier Limited International. The $1 Million Weekend starting Saturday. CBC Sports, your Olympic network.
Machines think fast, work efficiently, and make few errors. Technology is rapidly replacing workers. Will it eliminate your job? Are we becoming a jobless society? A Labor Day special on the National Magazine tonight at 10.
Back in Calgary, where the defense is awaiting as Trent Brown continues to get attention, and we can only speculate, as you mentioned, the outside linebacker Mobley may have to move in for Brown. Let's find out what happened.
Take a look, just as he's planting, and now he's trying to push off. With that right foot, he's trying to turn, plant on the tarp, and then be able to move upfield and create some speed to try to keep up with Alan Pitts. And all of a sudden, Trent Brown just buckles underneath, where you can only speculate, I guess. He's walking off under his own power right now, but it could be just a quick tear or maybe a little piece of cartilage that gets caught into the joint. He seems to be having a very hard time getting off the field.
5-year veteran, University of Alberta, having a terrific season. 5 interceptions, a couple of them last week against Ottawa. So it's a first down for the Stampeders.
Guess who's at safety? Lucius Floyd. All right.
Garcia throwing the out. There's a completion to Terry Vaughn.
Garcia sits it out to Terry Vaughn on the.
And they're into Edmonton territory. 6:35 to go, third quarter. Garcia and the Stampeders have seen their lead dwindle to 4 points.
I don't think the scenario changes very much right now for Jeff Garcia. You've just taken out Trent Brown. You're putting in John Kalin in there. The same thing goes. Whoever Kalin is covering, that's the go-to guy.
Garcia incomplete. Alan Pitts drops the ball. the stat on Garcia, 301 yards passing so far. It's the 9th consecutive game the Stamps have gone over 300. 5 games this year over 400.
One of the things that Edmonton is trying to do defensively is that since they put Kalen and they're going to put him to the short side of the field, the short side of the formation all the time, walk a linebacker like Larry Ruck out there and try to give him as little area to cover as possible with help.
2nd and 10. Garcia took a hit going deep. It's picked off. Darian Hagan. And the Eskimos defense comes up big, and you can give Tony Woods a big assist because he was bearing in on Jeff Garcia.
Number 91, Tony Woods.
And you can hear the Eskimos giving Lucius Floyd a...
Hey, we can't take anything off, eh?
There's Pete Laverado.
Pete Laverado, an old teammate of mine. Works with the defensive line, and I just want to say a quick note while we have a chance. Pete came up to me right before the game and said, look, this is a big day for my dad back in Edmonton. Carmen, he said it's his 75th birthday, and he just wanted to say, Dad, happy birthday to you. He'll be home tonight. Just to say, listen, he's such an enthusiastic guy, very active as a coach, talking to his guys constantly.
Right now, he's got a major concern, though, because Hagan, who came up with his 3rd interception, is still down, and, well, they've got Lucius Floyd as safety already. They don't want their other running back at defensive halfback, do they?
Well, you can only anticipate what Ian Hallworth is saying. He's looking down very seriously in one of those medical kind of, stare, glazed looks and going, you have to get up. We don't have anybody else.
Yeah, but they've called for the cart.
You have to get up.
And this is just an unbelievable turn of events for Ron Lancaster. It's almost like a jinx in the secondary. It started with the Rogers disqualification. Trent Brown goes down. And now Hagan, after a big play to snuff a Calgary drive, it's a 4-point football game with 5:50 to go, 3rd quarter.
Well, let's take a look and see if we can pick out what happened as he comes back across the field. He makes that hard plant right there on the turf. He gets stuck in the back of the head by Sapunjas. And you really can't see an ankle or a knee or anything that may buckle, but unfortunately, you take that risk, you run it anytime that you're playing on turf, because once these turf shoes grasp down on that AstroTurf, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't give. The one thing that gives happens to be a ligament or a cartilage or something in your body.
Well, Hagan couldn't get up, but they've told Trent Brown he's going to have to. So looks like Brown is going to be all right to return to the game. Boy, that's a tough spot for Lucius Floyd to come into, and I had to smile, Kep, because I've never seen a safety play so deep before.
Well, I think all of a sudden, if you want to be jokingly about it, you're thinking Lucius is the safety. He says, can you believe that they put me at safety with 2 inexperienced halfbacks out here? He said, at least if I'm going to play safety, give me 2 halfbacks that have been playing halfback.
Now the draw play bounces off. Can't get outside Marvin Coleman. And Blount dropped for a loss. Coleman's been solid on the corner so far today.
Guys up front, Stu Laird, Kenny Walker, doing an excellent job plugging that middle up. They get real hard heat off the corners, and great pursuit by guys like Coleman once they see a guy break out. Good open field tackle.
Erwin Bell heats on. Stu Laird has him. In his 10th Labor Day game, Stu Laird has a sack.
His 3rd of the season. The big guy, he just steadily, every game, gets it done. Nothing real flashy about him. He's consistent. He's a guy that is disciplined. He's going to make it happen once he has an opportunity. Stays outside, makes the containment, forces Bale back inside, and is able to fall back in and make the tackle himself.
Number 18.
Says he wants to celebrate his 10th Labor Day with a touchdown, but
of the box!
That sack is a big one right now.
Good punt again by Harper.
Is it ever? And Coleman has to field it out of bounds. At the 14, they'll mark it. 4:37 to go. And a 4-point lead. Harper, a 65-yard punt.
And no return.
Ever want to be part of a freewheeling football game? Well, now you can by playing the BF Goodrich TA Freewheeling Football Contest. Just watch the CFL on CBC starting September 9th. Answer a freewheeling football question, and you could win free wheels, one of 15 sets of 4 BF Goodrich TA tires. And you'll be eligible for our grand prize, a freewheeling trip for 4 to the Grey Cup, including flights, hotels, cash, and more. Play BF Goodrich TA Freewheeling Football. It's fun, it's football, and it's free.
Until recently, stomach ulcers were blamed on stress and bad diet. Then, an Australian doctor found bacteria to be the most frequent cause and antibiotics the cure. He had a fight on his hands to convince the medical establishment, but he proved his theory by infecting himself with a bacteria cocktail, then curing himself. Watch Ulcer Wars, Thursday, on The Nature of Things with David Suzuki.
We can have the door opening on the line.
Scorcher today.
Margaret Atwood's wickedly funny novel, The Robber Bride,
I'd like to do that one more time, please.
becomes a CBC radio drama
This will be scene 4, take 1.
Middle East special? That's me.
with Alberta Watson,
Senior. Senior's dead.
Sheila McCarthy, Janet Lane Green,
What is she doing here?
and Sarah Botsford.
Very nice, that's it.
The Robber Bride starts September 5th on CBC Radio.
Well, we've got another good one developing in the Labor Day Classic in Calgary, and later today, San Antonio and Toronto. Bobo Bilovich returning to the sidelines. Don Whitman, James Curry, Scott Oak, and the CFL on CBC crew are ready at Skydome for that one. Trent Brown's back in. Lucius Floyd is the safety. And it's first down, Calgary, deep in their own zone, and Tony Stewart cuts back right into Melvin Hunter. And up to the 17-yard line, pick up a 3, maybe 4 for Stewart.
4 yards for Stewart. Second down.
Edmonton doing a good job of staying at home up front, taking care of the gaps, letting the linebackers flow. Larry Ruck being the guy that made the initial contact.
Now watch Lucius, 33. He's going to backpedal a little more.
Now, wait a second. We used to have a safety by like John Farliver and Pete Laverado. They played way back there that deep. They were never in the films half the time.
Second down, Garcia. Alan Pitts had to go up to get that one and brings it down for the first down. Well, they just told us that Darian Hagan is having his hip looked at. He made the interception on the last Calgary series. Trent Brown went out with a knee, but is back in.
Take a look, but he's out in there. He's holding the knee and playing, and he's favoring it completely. He's just a body taking up space up there. He's not a football player helping that defense out right now. That's unfortunately for him.
Well, can Garcia capitalize? Rolls out. Now back over the middle. It's complete. Pee Wee Smith comes across. And now we've got another Eskimo on the limp. I think that's Errol Martin. No, it's Brown back down. Ron Lancaster really...
Earlier, Errol Martin may be the guy that has to come in. But you can just take a look. I mean, poor Trent Brown, I got to say, he just can't move. There is something obviously seriously wrong with the knee. He can't plant, he can't push, he can't accelerate. And those are 3 really key ingredients that you have to play football, play defensive back.
Kep, you wanted to play. I mean, the jersey may still be down there in the...
I had an opportunity, and last couple of weeks ago was Rolly Miles' funeral that he had, and there was a number of Eskimo guys there. Old guys were there. Norm Kimball was there, who had started the Eskimo regime a long time ago. And I said, Norm, I said, you signed anybody lately? I said, minimum salary is $26,500. He says, I'll give you $18,700. You want to take it? I said, yep, I'll take it right now. But you can take a good look at the pain that Trent Brown's going through. So the guys that are there, Errol Martin, he's not a big, oversized linebacker. He's 6'2", 205. He's one guy that they can bring in, and they actually do that. They leave.
Martin's in. Mobley's dropped back now into the secondary. And Garcia throws a completion to Pitts, and This is a lethal situation. Alan Pitts allowed to roam in this battered up Eskimo secondary. He could finish with some big numbers unless the Eskimos can get some heat on Garcia.
Well, if you've ever heard the term, this is easy as shooting fish in a barrel, this is exactly what it's going to be like. You spread those 5 receivers across the board of a very inexperienced inept secondary, and you just pick to who you want to throw the ball to.
First down at midfield. Garcia has another open receiver. He took a hit, but hung on, and Dave Sapunjas has another first down catch.
David Sapunjas with the catch for the Stampeders.
Now Robert Holland, one of the few guys left back there.
With the tackle.
The key to this, at some point, you're in a catch-22 situation. The first 4 guys are not getting the kind of heat on Garcia that needs to be turned up to force him to throw the ball quickly. So then you have to bring linebackers, and then that just leaves too much area back there or man-to-man coverage, which these guys are just not used to playing in the secondary of the Eskimos.
Minute 15 to go, third quarter. Garcia pumps once, goes deep. Pee-wee Smith, touchdown!
To his credit, Davis Reed is trying to play the corner out there against Pee-wee Smith. But what is happening that he has got some young guys on the inside that he is not really able to concentrate on his position. He's trying to help everybody else that is inexperienced in the guys that they have in the makeshift. The 4-0-7-7 has landed the MASH unit to try to put it together back there. And Cavis Reed just did not concentrate on Pee-wee Smith the way that he should, or the way that he really can. And Pee-wee, but in spite of all of that, comes up with the big catch of his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, I think that defensive secondary knows how Peter McNeely feels, or felt, going up against Tyson. It's a tough spot now. And McLaughlin, the extra point, 29-18. It's only an 11-point advantage for Calgary against a battered but game Eskimo defense.
Pump fake, some heat up front by the Edmonton Eskimos, but not before Garcia has a chance to unload it deep. And Pee-wee, with that burst of speed that he has, is able to get by Reed, and more importantly, get it into the end zone.
Big drive for the Stampeders. After the Eskimos, it closed within 4. Still plenty of time left, though. 57 seconds to go, third quarter. And Trent Brown is now done for the day. Hagan gone. Rogers ejected. That's the heart of the secondary. The 2 halves and the safety out for the day. And they dressed only 1 extra DB. The green and gold are going to keep at it, though.
Well, you can bet they're going to keep at it. It's not over till it's over. The same old cliches stand true. When you come down here to Calgary on the Labor Day Classic, you know for a fact it's a 60-minute gang fight, and you don't stop until the last whistle.
Ron Lancaster said yesterday, we don't know how good we are. We're going to find out. This may not be an accurate litmus test, though, because of the injuries in the secondary.
Well, I don't think in this case Ron Lancaster is not the kind of man that would look for any kind of excuses. Injury's going to happen to any team around the league. It's just how well you adjust to that kind of stuff. He's having to do a heck of a lot of adjusting out there.
Good protection for Bell. Shalon Baker has the catch just over the 50-yard line. Boy, the Eskimos excited about Shalon Baker, who may be the most promising receiver they've signed since Brian Kelly in 1979. Kelly was a Rookie of the Year, and folks in Edmonton think Shalon Baker will be too.
Well, and Brian Kelly, the year that he was Rookie of the Year, he set a record, 61 catches, 1,098 yards in 1979. Shalon Baker should be able to break that easily.
Well, Steve Krupke, who went out of the game earlier with an injury, jumped.
Edmonton 56, down repeated.
For a Labor Day Classic, the one thing that you do have to say, it has been a fairly penalty-free ball game.
Our Kelly stats in 79, and Baker well on his way. In fact, he's on pace to challenge Matt Clark's rookie record of over 1,500 yards. Here's Michael Souls in the flat, and he's into Calgary territory with a first down. And the Eskimos offense trying to close the gap, stay in the ball game, and keep that defense off. That's the end of the third quarter. Calgary up by 11.
15 minutes to go on the Labor Day Classic. And it's for Calgary Stampeders 29. The Eskimos 18.
Just a reminder, Labatt Genuine Draft goes down easy because it's real draft.
Gravity.
Just a reminder, Labatt Genuine Draft goes down easy because it's real draft.
で、お子さんたち新しいコンピューター気に入ったの？
それがまだ立ち上げてないんだ。何しろ僕は不器用なもんでね。
うちじゃ千葉がみんなに大人気。IBM のホームコンピューター、CD ラムがついてて、トップトップいっぱいあるし、箱から出してすぐ使えるようになってるんですよ。
単位でもセットアップできるってわけ？
腕はいらないのよ。
The BF Goodrich TA Performance Radio now gives you more performance than ever. Thanks to up-to-the-minute G-Wedge technology, it delivers exceptional road handling control in even the tightest turns. The BF Goodrich TA Radio. Nothing stops it from performing. Well, almost nothing.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by BF Goodrich TA. Performance. Serious performance.
Rich Stubler with a crash course defensively here.
Well, this shows how important it is because Rich Stubler is usually up in the press box on the headset talking to Pete Navarado. But now, obviously, with the injuries that's taking place, he's down there giving that crash course to Lucius Floyd, and John Holland has taken over doing his own teaching to John Kalin.
Mark Lee was told by Lucius Floyd he has not played defense since the 12th grade, so pressing all healthy bodies into service as Kerwin Bell tries to close the gap. Lots of time. And there's Jim Sandusky. Can't slip away from Al Jordan.
Sandusky, number 7 with the catch.
And at the 38-yard line, that's a pickup of close to 7. Tell you what, Kerwin Bell in relief has done a good job. He's trying to win the starting job back and win back favor of head coach Ron Lancaster.
Good numbers, and he's dumped off a lot of those passes. They haven't been down the field as much, except for that one to C.J. Davis. Calgary will not give up the home run ball.
Bell's got time, and a completion. This is Nick Mazzoli, down to the 15. Well, the Eskimo offense, perhaps inspired by the gritty defense, is starting to roll.
That offensive line is starting to help themselves in their own cause a little bit. Check the numbers out through 3 quarters. Net yards for the Calgary Stampeders, 457.
23 yards there for Mazzoli. Now it's Baker. Shalon Baker dancing Alondra Johnson helped out. They can make a first down without scoring here.
You could just take a look. Kenton Leonard has an excellent opportunity. He makes the break underneath the receiver, but he just anticipates it and cuts it off way too soon. Or else if he makes a break toward the receiver just a little further up, he's got a pick going 6 the other way.
Second and short. And the Eskimos should have the first down inside the 5. And I'm not sure Wally Buono, after the early 19-1 lead, thought it would be this tight.
And goal for the Eskimos just inside the 5.
Adrian is giving in the defensive signals into Matt Finley, Findog. First and goal on the 5 for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Bell short drop. Nobody's open. Now it is touchdown, Nick Mazzoli. And Ron Lancaster may be going for 2. A 5-point deficit. They'll try to close to within a field goal. Kerwin Bell off the bench, 3 touchdown passes.
Good blocking up front, Kerwin Bell. What little foot speed he does have was able to get around by just enough time. And the one thing that those offensive receivers know about it, keep working to the open area, and Kerwin has an opportunity to get the ball to you.
Going for 2. Under pressure, and he sidearms that incomplete. So they get the touchdown. Wait a minute. Flag down in the end zone.
This is going to be illegal contact against Calgary, but should put this ball back on the 1-yard line, I think.
They'll get a second chance at going for 2. Mazzoli, by the way, 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games.
Illegal contact, Calgary number 30, past the distance to the goal line, counter repeated.
Kenton Leonard called. Last Labor Day, broke his shoulder in the Classic and missed 5 weeks. What goes half the distance? This not fun watching Ron Lancaster and Wally Buono dueling?
Reminds you of the games they used to play where they were actually in pads and on the field. Quarterback, linebacker like Wally Buono calling the signals. Chess game, mind against mind out there.
Wally's 100th game as a head coach in the CFL. Again, going for 2. Quickly, Davis, he's got it. And it's a 3-point game.
At McDonald's, there's something new this month. Introducing September's Taste of the Month, McOnion Bits. They're tasty, bite-sized pieces of sweet onion, deep fried to a golden brown. Any old onion can make you cry. McOnion Bits can make you smile.
Imagine a recreational trail winding its way.
At just 99 cents or less for 5 minutes anywhere in Alberta, AGT's long-distance prices are at their lowest ever. 99 cents. It's simple to save. And with free air miles, travel miles, AGT long distance goes further than ever. AGT's always had the value. Now it has the price. 99 cents or less for 5 minutes anywhere in Alberta with an AGT savings plan. Evenings and weekends guaranteed. AGT long-distance prices are at their lowest ever in Alberta and Canada. Call us today.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by AGT. We go further than long distance.
University is emerging. Nick Mazzoli emerging as frontline receiver in the CFL this year, his best year. And this is fourth season out of Simon Fraser with the touchdown from a hot Kerwin Bell.
Good job up front by Groenwagen. Able just to cut Will Johnson ever so slightly, and then it allows Kerwin Bell to come outside, buy a little extra time. There's the cut. Hands get up. It forces Kerwin to have to get outside. Now he's able to break containment, and Big Nick keeps working toward the flag, and he gets it in the corner.
29-26. Early fourth quarter, Marvin Coleman has a little daylight, and Sean Fleming cut him off to the pass. Coleman over the 40-yard line.
It's an 18-yard return. 51 yards on the kick for Fleming.
And the offense will sit down and hope the defense can hang tough.
Another look at the quarterback and the touchdown. Nick just squats down, finds the corner, keeps his body between he and the defender. The ball's thrown low and away. Good reception by Nick Mazzoli.
Jeff, they've now got John Kalin on the corner. And they've moved Holland inside. Garcia first down, dumps it off, Tony Stewart. And Tony Stewart, across midfield, popped it up. And the Stamps back on it. Oh, we've talked about Stewart.
Tony Stewart.
And his penchant for fumbling the football, and Garcia wanted to have a word with him, 22 yards, but right now the Stamps holding their breath on the bench. Pee Wee Smith recovered for Calgary, a 22-yard pickup.
Well, what they're doing now when they move John Kalin out to the corner, they're dictating that if you want to throw the ball out there one-on-one, it's a long throw a lot of the times. They haven't normally been throwing to their wideouts.
Kalin against Pee Wee Smith, but Sapunjas over the middle has it. Dave Sapunjas now turns the corner. Breaks the tackle, still going. Well, you understand bad coverage, but there was some bad tackling there. 40 yards, Dave Sapunjas.
Chris, that would be a compliment with that kind of performance of what we just saw there. You got an opportunity as a defense to make some things happen. Surely they're going to catch the ball inside sometimes. They've been doing it most of the day. But now break down and make a tackle, do something. Guys are throwing their arms out, dragging their tails a little bit. Kalin comes over there and throws an elbow at him. This guy's not going to go down. He's not a sissy receiver. He'll fight you and picks up the yardage. Dave Sapunjas, great effort.
Inside the 10, first and goal. Garcia to Pitts, incomplete. And Garcia quickly looks to the bench for the next call from Hufnagel.
The Eskimos very lucky in that case. They got exactly, they meaning Calgary, the kind of defense they wanted. They had Pitts inside on the curl route, wide open, and the young quarterback just had it go off in his hands. The ball sailed over a very open Alan Pitts.
Only Doug Flutie, Peter List, Danny Barrett have had better passing days than this one by Garcia. Second and goal. End zone, touchdown, Pitts. Second touchdown grab by Pitts. Fourth touchdown pass by Jeff Garcia.
Good timing, great throw by the young quarterback. He gets Pitts on the out, one-on-one against Errol Martin, the linebacker. And not making any excuse for Errol Martin, but that is a mismatch when you take the linebacker and you put him out there one-on-one against one of the top receivers in this league, in Alan Pitts. And you can see the rejection. Glenn Harper, Sean Fleming on the sideline, seeing something that they may have had a chance to accomplish, slip away.
It's still 10 points, lots of time left.
The landscaping fell victim to the insect plague of 2004. Around 2019, a new use was found for automobiles. And by 2030, the house was on its 7th paint job. In truth, about all that's lasted since 1995 is the lifetime finish on the Wiser Brilliance brass handle set. Wiser Brilliance. Weathers a lifetime.
G'day, BC. I've come here to Long Beach to teach you guys how to surf. Let's go surfing! It's cold. It's cold. The water's a little chilly. Do I care? I am not worthy. Don't harsh up my date. These guys, they deserve your respect. Bad weather, great surf. No, I am not getting in the water because it's too cold. You're a loser. Trust me, I know.
Coconut, pure refreshing taste, straight from the Kootenays.
We took the most comfortable full-size pickup on the road and made it more comfortable. We took the most thoughtful interior on the market and made it more thoughtful. We took the biggest cab in the industry and made it bigger. The new Dodge Ram Club Cab. First we changed the rules, then we stretched them. From Dodge, Canada's truck stop.
Well, Jeff Garcia picking apart that makeshift Eskimo secondary. And Alan Pitts has been allowed to roam. His second touchdown of the game.
You have to reach over and tell Errol Martin, don't worry about that one too much. I tell you what, Alan Pitts has done that with some of the best defensive backs in this league over the years.
8 touchdowns on the year for Pitts, who had a big Labor Day a year ago as well. Eric Blount turned away from the first wave, but they're down there led by Roger Reinson. And just a 10-yard return of the 68-yard kickoff. 9:14 to go. It's a 10-point Calgary lead. But it has been a game performance by the Eskimos since Kerwin Bell came on. And the defense continues to regroup, hoping that Bell can put another touchdown on the board to help fuel the comeback.
Let's just play it.
I don't think Rich Stubler's had many days quite like this one. Bell's going deep, looking for Shalon Baker, and it's picked off by Coleman. His second pick of the game. Step for step with Baker, and he comes down with the football.
Great conversation taking on right there between Frank Spaziani and Wally Buono. Two guys that handle a terrific defense. Spaziani works extensively with the secondary guys and the defensive linemen. Wally with the linebackers. Great closing speed by Coleman, just tracks the ball down. Poorly decided play, I think, by Coleman Bell.
Garcia, the long out, and that's incomplete. Flag down in the Eskimo secondary.
You may see illegal contact against Willie Pless. Dave Sapunjas was coming off the field, coming off the line, and he really got jammed up.
Illegal contact on a pass receiver. Edmonton number 27. First down.
Take it back to Sigor Mowgli. You hate to have something like that happen when you actually stalled them for a play. You force them to throw the ball to where you want them to throw it, to the wide side, to the out. They get the skip, but all of a sudden, a penalty keeps this drive alive.
So it's a first down, just over the midfield stripe. Garcia, they say that hit the turf, but I'm not sure. Pee Wee Smith certainly doesn't agree.
And the pass is good, incomplete.
I don't know, Kep. I'd like to have another look at that one.
And I'm sure we'll be able to take a look, and here it comes. Ball's thrown, it's down.
That's a catch.
You give it a catch right there. The official that made that call was lined up behind Pee Wee Smith, didn't have a chance to make the proper call. But after the ejection early in this ball game, anything goes with the Zebras today.
Yeah, the Eskimos secondary needs a couple of those. 2nd and 10, Garcia gets outside the rush. Now throws back, and it's picked off. Ball's on the ground, and Calgary got back on it. Larry Ruck with the interception, but he coughed it back up. That could have been a big break for Edmonton. Instead, it's a big break for the guys in red. It's Calgary football.
Larry with 2 interceptions already this year. Garcia does a good job to get outside of containment, but then he's throwing the ball backpedaling way off balance, throws it into the crowd. Larry Ruck does, in fact, make that interception. The ball stripped loose by Jamie Crysdale, who comes up with it also.
That's the first interception for Jeff Garcia this year. 51st turnover forced by the Eskimos, but they gave it right back. Here's Stewart smothered, and Larry Ruck was there to help finish him off.
Larry Ruck with a little added extra frustration after fumbling that ball after the interception.
Alvin Hunter, number 46, on the bottom of the pile.
You can see how intently Larry Ruck looking at Pete Laverado on the sideline, picking up the defensive signals. And on the other side of the ball, Jeff Garcia picking up those signals from John Huffnagel.
Got an injured Stampeder. That's Bruce Beaton. The left tackle forced into a starting role this year with the injury early in the season to All-Canadian Bruce Coverton. And Beaton will sit down for at least a play or two.
Give an opportunity for Jay McNeil to come in. Jay McNeil, 6'4", about 285 out of Kent State. In his 2nd year with the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, this game rarely disappoints, the Labor Day Classic, and that's been the case again today. Garcia, lots of room, and he'll pull it down, has the first down. And he'll move the yardstick, so he can scramble when he has to. And the Stamps now have 100 yards rushing on the day.
Jeff does a great job. He spreads his offense, empty backfield set, spreads that Edmonton defense all the way across the board. This is the call play right from the get-go. Takes it from the shotgun position to the wide side of the field, sniffs out that first down marker, and slides ahead for it.
First down give to Stewart, met by Pless. And down to the 31-yard line. Pick up a 5 to 6. Well, this has been a courageous effort by the Eskimos under the circumstances. It's a completely remade secondary. Holland's still there, but he's moved inside. Hagan hurt. Brown hurt. Rogers ejected. And guys like Willie Pless and Signor Mobley trying to hang on. Garcia under the gun, dropped for a loss. Leroy Blue with his 5th sack of the year. Out of Bishop's University, 7-year veteran. Ron Lancaster said, again, that's been another fantastic year for number 89.
Great penetration, acceleration off the line of scrimmage. He's able to get up there and beat out the block of Bob Pandelitis, who was pulling out in front on that bootleg. One of the key assets that Leroy Blue does possess is his ability to run upfield very quickly and get that speed. He had the containment, and then also he had some help with Tony Woods coming from the backside.
This will be a 47-yard try by McLaughlin. Clooney puts it down. McLaughlin's got plenty of leg, but he misses. And Blount will give up the single, so it's an 11-point lead. 37-26, 4:14 to go.
To make the score, the Calgary Stampeders 37 and the Edmonton Eskimos 26.
At just 99 cents or less for 5 minutes anywhere in Alberta, AGT's long-distance prices are at their lowest ever. 99 cents. It's simple to save. And with free air miles, travel miles, AGT long distance goes further than ever. AGT's always had the value. Now it has the price. 99 cents or less for 5 minutes anywhere in Alberta with an AGT savings plan. Evenings and weekends guaranteed. AGT long-distance prices are at their lowest ever in Alberta and Canada. Call us today.
Loads of Camry, acres of Corolla, tons of Tercel, and tough Toyota trucks. They've all got to go now during Toyota's sharpest deals in town event. With incredible lease and finance rates, you can drive a new Toyota for as low as $189 per month. The biggest selection, the best prices ever, and with 4.9% financing. Your sharpest deal just got even sharper. But at these prices, they won't last long. So hurry to your Toyota dealer. There's never been a better time to buy.
I love this old car. Sure are a lot of memories here. I've been keeping it running for a long time, and the only way I've been able to do that is with the right parts I get from the people who really know the parts business.
Whatever you drive, UAP Napa Auto Parts stores have everything you need for your favorite car or truck, import or domestic. For better quality, service, and selection, visit your UAP Napa Auto Parts store.
I plan on keeping it running for a long time.
Just a reminder, coming up next, David Archer, Mike Saunders, and San Antonio visiting Ken Austin, Mike Pinball Clemens, and the Toronto Argonauts. Following our game, headed to Sky Dome, where pregame warm-up underway with the roof open. This one far from done, though. An 11-point lead, but Kerwin Bell's been sharp. Ditches it off, Souls. Lunging ahead for a couple.
Bell's pass is complete to number 30.
Kent Leonard moved up to stop the big McGill product.
Number 30.
Chris, again, I think the only thing that I can see that the Edmonton Eskimo offense is doing right now, trying to get it back all in one time, where Kerwin Bell wants to take it downtown and try to get the home run ball. This Calgary defense is not going to give you that.
Baker took his eye off the football. Fell out the punt. They wanted to keep the defense on the bench. Leroy Blue now getting attention. 3:34 left.
Dr. Peter Boucher, the orthopedic surgeon that is with the Edmonton Eskimos, taking a look at Leroy Blue. And a good look at Glenn Harper. If he can kick one, you know, the way that he has the last two, he'll really drive Calgary deep into their own end.
No. You know, the wind really has picked up here in the last half hour or so. Harper kicking that one into the wind, and it's usually a factor at McMahon Stadium. It hasn't been today until the last few minutes. Just a 23-yard punt. Ron Lancaster still not done today. He's got a big job ahead of him. These two teams are going to get right back into the street fight Friday at Commonwealth Stadium. Benny Good shaken up on the last series, but he's back. And here's Sean Daniels with a rare carry. Malvin Hunter stops him near the line of scrimmage.
John Daniels, number 34, the ball carrier.
Jeff Garcia very contented to try to run this ball inside and run some time off the clock. Good look at Kerwin Bell on the sideline with his offensive lineman.
And we're under 3 minutes to go here at McMahon Stadium.
Wednesday, Canadian peacekeepers face incredible challenges in the splintered territory of the former Yugoslavia.
It is a dangerous job.
A two-part series produced by the National Film Board. Protection Force, Wednesday on CBC.
Now it's your turn to talk.
When is someone ready to have sex? Join us, the kids from Degrassi.
A repeat series.
What would you do if you were being abused?
As we talk to teens about topics that matter.
Degrassi Talks.
Tonight at 9 on CBC.
I like the idea of news in the morning. You're telling people something they actually don't know, what's been happening overnight, but also to jump right on a story as soon as it breaks and get to know as much about it as fast as we can. It's new, and you're just starting to understand it. People get up in the morning, reach for the coffee, turn on the television set, and bang, the news is there. It's fresh.
The CBC Morning News with Bill Cameron, starting September 11th on CBC Television.
Hi, I'm Stephen Hunter. On the next edition of The Health Show, chlamydia. Heard of it?
I've never heard someone really stressed getting the disease chlamydia.
Well, it's rampant among teenagers. The Health Show, Thursday.
Tuesday on Man Alive, the resilient child.
I think I'm just maybe an average person. I went through some tough times, but that's what life is.
That's Tuesday on Man Alive.
There's Robert Holland still directing traffic in that rebuilt Eskimo secondary this afternoon, and I'll tell you what, he's really assumed a leadership role back there.
Just make sure he doesn't go outside. If he goes outside, you got to turn and go.
This was just a few moments ago as he was giving John Kalin last-second instructions on how to play the corner. First down, Garcia. There's Danielson cutting it back. And Danielson's into Edmonton territory at the 50-yard line. Pickup of 12 for Big Vince Danielson. Bruce Dixon on the tackle. And Garcia starting to pad the stats.
Danielson does an excellent job of reading this kind of coverage, and he slides to the outside. He and Garcia are on the same page. Garcia is able to deliver the ball to him, and then he worked very well back into the field and get the ball up the field to pick up the first down.
They'll keep it on the ground this time. Sean Daniels to the 45 as close to 5. Well, you've got the lead, and I'm sure there's a temptation here to keep the ball in the air because of the Eskimos' secondary woes, but you want to grind it out and try and finish it off. Do you think Garcia will go to the air much down the stretch, Kev?
I think if he has to, if he falls a little short in his first down production and it makes it second and long, it gives him the opportunity to go deep. But as long as this offensive line can get off the mark and pick up some yardage, he won't have to.
He may call his own number. No, throws back, and Sapunjas has it. And that's another first down. Under 2 minutes left now. And the Stampeders have taken full control now with the 11-point lead and the clock running out on Edmonton. Well, there's Dad in from Gilroy, California.
Hi, Gilroy, California. Hey, we're right here in beautiful Calgary. And guess what? All 5,000 people. We're going to do it. All right.
He's excited. Gilroy, by the way, 30 miles south of San Jose, and Jeff telling me yesterday, big fan of the San Jose Sharks. Daniels for 2 or 3. Inside the 30. Mr. Pless doing the job again on defense for Edmonton.
Now, the last play that he ran when he was in second and long in this situation, he came out on the bootleg, and nobody was really respecting the fact that he was going to run outside. He threw it back inside to Dave Sapunjas. Let's see if he comes back with the same kind of play. Move the pocket around a little bit. He's out of the shotgun.
2nd and 6. Plenty of time. Pee Wee Smith. Touchdown.
It's a good pitch. A good catch. I think Pee Wee may have gotten away with a little push right at the last minute on John Kalin.
Came into the game without a touchdown, but celebrating a pair today, and he'll be celebrating with his teammates a Labor Day win for the 3rd year in a row. McLaughlin puts it through. 68 seconds to play. And it's 44-26.
The youngster Jeff Garcia, 2nd and 6. Not contented with just picking up the first down, but take it to the house and take it for the home run. Right at the last minute, just a little bit of the left arm. A touch on John Kalin. See if we see it ever so slightly. The ball thrown out over the left shoulder, the outside shoulder. And there's a sight that only a father and a son can really appreciate it. Dad really excited about the performance of his son today.
What's up, Mom? Back home, everybody. Hello.
Yeah, don't forget Mom.
Yeah, don't mom was here too, but
no, Dad and a cousin made the trip. Doug Flutie under the knife tomorrow in California, but it would appear that the quarterbacking of the Calgary Stampeders is in capable hands.
Ron Lancaster made the comment yesterday talking about this game. He said it was a true measuring stick for the Edmonton offense today. It was a test for the defense. But unfortunately, with the number of injuries that they had, it was even more than a test today.
Now you can bet the Eskimos will reload for next Friday at Commonwealth. They'll have over 50,000 on hand for that one. But the Stamps are going to have the bragging rights today. Blount run out of bounds with 1:04 to play.
Well, let's talk about that just a little bit too, Chris. Unfortunately, we don't know the extent of any of these injuries, and there are not that many great quality defensive backs as depth laying around that you can just take a guy out there and then all of a sudden put 4 guys in the backfield and have them be able to play against a team like the Calgary Stampeders in 5 days.
You think Kerwin Bell will start Friday? He's been great in a relief role today. That'll be one of the many decisions Ron Lancaster makes in the wake of this one. Bell throwing incomplete to Blount out of the backfield.
Not speaking for Ron Lancaster, but I think that, in fact, will be the easiest of all the decisions that Coach Lancaster has to make through the course of this week.
We know Garcia will be starting on Friday. This the 4th highest passing performance by a Calgary quarterback all time. The record is 556 yards by Flutie. Peter Lisk had a 553-yard game. Doug also had a 547-yarder. But this, the 4th best of all time, so Mr. Garcia's had quite a day.
117 attempts, only 2 interceptions.
And in 2 games, almost 1,000 yards, 962 for Garcia. Under a minute left, and it's a 3rd down situation facing the Eskimos. Yeah, Rich Stubler, Ron Lancaster haven't had many afternoons quite like this one. It's amazing the way he turned it around last year. They were really hammered on Labor Day a year ago, 48-15, but they came right back and beat the Stamps the following Friday a year ago.
There is a flag down on the play.
Flag down on that 3rd down incompletion.
And Kerwin Bell is ever so lucky that that ball was thrown short on the hop. If it's not, it's 7 points.
53 Edmonton, penalty decline, 1st down.
It's 7 points for Marvin Coleman going the other way.
Instead, it's a penalty decline and a turnover on downs.
But we surely like to wish all the best to Doug Flutie on the big events that are happening through the course of this week for him and his future.
Again, surgery tomorrow, and although Doug wanted to throw the ball today, they could not risk any further inflammation. Otherwise, the surgery, as he mentioned to Mark Lee, might have to be canceled. So Flutie goes under the knife tomorrow in California. He'll return to Calgary a week from now. We hope to see him next year, although Doug still thinks, here's more for Pitts, touchdown. Garcia going right back at him.
This thing. They just have to remember that they do have to go to Commonwealth Stadium on Friday, and you know, sometimes payback can be a very sobering task ahead. The young quarterback, you can't fault him. First big start, first real big test of the year for him. He goes out there, makes a lot of things happen, turning out some great numbers, but it could come back to haunt you.
And here we go. There's Pitts, but we got something going on the field.
Now, wait a second. Let's just wait right here. There's a lot of stuff going on out there on the field right now. Let's see how many people are ejected. Just check it out. There's nobody going to be ejected. That's why I still think the call at the beginning of the game, and advantage. If you kick the guy, that's fine. You're not supposed to have take 15 yards, back it up. But you don't take out some of the better players on either team and make them not play in the Labor Day Classic.
One more look at the 6th touchdown pass. That's a Calgary record-tying performance for Garcia. 3 for Pitts.
Garcia had enough space. He could have ran that ball in on his own, but he decides to take it downtown to the big guy, Alan Pitts.
Pitts with 9 touchdowns.
What's up, baby?
Look at that. Labor Day last year, he was the big story. And again, in that game, they had problems in the secondary because of an ejection and injuries, and Pitts has done it for the 2nd straight year. Different quarterback, same results.
Edmonton Eskimos through the course of this season just riddled with injuries, decimated with up front of the offensive lineman. Now has to go a whole patchwork in the secondary. It'll be a true test for this coaching staff and some of these veterans around that locker room to rise up to the challenge that this young quarterback and his team are going to bring into Commonwealth Stadium Friday night.
Well, Kep, I'll admit it. I figured the over-under on this one was like 20. I thought...
Well, wait a second. Wait, don't pad yourself. I heard what you said. What number? Thank you. Thank you very much.
I was exaggerating.
What you normally do.
Here's Shalon Baker. And he takes some punishment before getting outside the 10. 18 seconds to go. No, you looked at these two defenses. You saw a couple of rookie quarterbacks. And never in my wildest expectations would I expect 77 points.
Well, but the true fact of that is that the Calgary Stampeders were able to score 51 points against a secondary that was just truly makeshift out there. Patchwork, you were trying to put a Band-Aid on somebody that had cut a jugular vein.
I knew you'd try and get me off the hook.
I am. I'm working on you. I'm helping you, buddy.
Bell, the screen pass to Blount. And he's wrapped up by Alondra Johnson, 11 seconds left. Wally Bono in his 100th regular season game. There's a big guy today, Dave Sapunjas.
Everybody got in the show today.
And Wally Bono and Ron Lancaster are going to be dead even in their head-to-head confrontations at 6 wins apiece. Should be the last play. Bell, little sidearm to Blount, out of bounds. That'll do it. 51-26 as the Calgary Stampeders prevail on Labor Day 95.
Terrific effort by both two teams. Ron Lancaster has to smile as best he can, keep his chin up. He and John Huffnagel there giving a handshake. These was not the kind of matchup that we thought that we were going to see due to the injury factor today on both sides.
There's Wally Bono with his children celebrating here.
He likes them. He likes to have them around and get them involved. He said, but last week they got in a lot of trouble because George Hopkins was screaming at them because they got in a water fight with the water bottle. And he said he had to straighten them up.
They're the two.
There they are.
Starting quarterbacks today, Vargas, along with Garcia, who did battle in the Big West, and they'll do battle again in the future. Vargas had a great line yesterday. He hoped in 5 years from now we'll look back at this game as a battle of two of the best quarterbacks in the CFL. It was Garcia's day, but Vargas is going to have his before it's all said and done.
Folks, just take a look. Right there, we're seeing some of the future that's in the CFL. Two young quarterbacks with great promise that'll be around for a long time.
Well, they're getting ready now to do it all over in Edmonton in 4 days. They'll have over 50,000 there, full house today, and most of them enjoyed a 51-26 Calgary win.
At just 99 cents or less for 5 minutes anywhere in Alberta, AGT's long-distance prices are at their lowest ever. 99 cents. It's simple to save. And with free air miles, travel miles, AGT long distance goes further than ever. AGT's always had the value. Now it has the price. 99 cents or less for 5 minutes anywhere in Alberta with an AGT savings plan. Evenings and weekends guaranteed. AGT long distance prices are at their lowest ever in Alberta and Canada. Call us today.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by AGT. We go further than long distance.
Back live at McMahon Stadium for the aftermath of this unbelievably one-sided victory by the Calgary Stampeders. You see the score, 51-26, and here's the hero of the game, Jeff Garcia. Jeff, you said yesterday you were nervous. This was the biggest game of your pro career. Did you even surprise yourself?
Oh, sure. I think anytime you have a game like that, it surprises you a little bit. But, hey, we game planned well. We came out playing well. And the defense did a great job in the first half. And we were able to move the ball offensively and just made some things happen. And everybody played so spectacular today. It was a full team effort.
You had more than 500 yards passing today. That's even better than last week when you had 440 yards. And that was the best passing output by any quarterback, including Doug Flutie, this season.
Well, what can I say? They had some injuries defensively, which hurt them, and we were able to take advantage of their change-ups. And, you know, I feel bad that they had those injuries, but it worked to our favor, and hopefully they can come out healthy, and we'll have a great game Friday.
Very gracious to make that point, Jeff. Glenn Rogers Jr. had the ejection, Darian Hagan the hip injury, Trent Brown the knee. What, in fact, did that do to their defense? What were you able to do?
Well, if they ran out of defensive backs, they started playing the safety over as a corner, and you just can't do that. And they brought in a running back at safety, and we have some great receivers, and anytime you make changes like that, we're going to take advantage of it.
Doug Flutie goes in for surgery tomorrow. You're going to lead this football team right through to the end of the season. Does this victory, this performance, give you all that more confidence?
Oh, it definitely gives me a lot of confidence. You know, again, I'm going to take it week to week and game to game, and hopefully we could just keep going in the right direction. It started off well so far.
All right, Jeff, congratulations. Thanks for the time. We'll let you join your teammates in the Stampeders locker room. Jeff Garcia with 6 touchdown passes today, tying Doug Flutie's Stampeder record. Let's go up to the broadcast booth to Danny and Chris.
Well, Kep, I mentioned during halftime I thought the score flattered Edmonton, but in the final analysis, I think the score flatters Calgary a bit because until the last 7-8 minutes, Edmonton was very much in this football game with a completely decimated secondary, so I don't know how many conclusions we can draw from this one.
Well, I don't know if you try to make too many conclusions right now, and I think that Wally Bono, being a smart coach as he is, goes in and say, look, let's don't get too carried away today. We beat a pretty good football team the first half. It was pretty close, and it was tight, but all of a sudden, all the injuries and everything that took place in their secondary made it pretty easy for us to manipulate them a bit and move the ball up and down the field.
They got within 3 points, the Eskimos did, in the second half, and then Jeff Garcia and the Calgary offense really put this one away, and Alan Pitts had a big afternoon again.
Well, it was tough. All of a sudden, he took care of Trent Brown early. Then all of a sudden, now they have to make some substitution in the back, and you get Errol Martin out there having to run around and cover Pitts. It's a tough situation, but Jeff Garcia had to make the read, and he made the throw. He did a good job.
Pitts, 11 catches, 169 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he also went deep to Pee Wee Smith a couple of times.
Well, Pee Wee's the guy that you want to go deep to. He's got that great blinding speed. The fact is, again, there's another guy, John Kalen, who's a safety, playing the corner. You don't see that very often up here.
Well, this guy Garcia had quite a day, and we don't want to take anything away from him, too, because everybody across the country was wondering what Calgary would do without Doug Flutie. He's not Doug Flutie, but he is a pretty impressive backup.
Well, he certainly is. He came in, and these guys haven't lost too many steps already. The fact of the matter would be, if the opposite was taking place and Calgary was having a lot of problems in their secondary, you bet Edmonton's going to take care of it. Any team is going to take care of it. You want to hit them at the weakest link. Calgary did a good job of doing that. It just means that Edmonton has to make some really significant adjustments through the course of this week.
Another interesting Labor Day, and now let's go back to Mark. He's standing by with Pee Wee Smith.
All right, thank you, Chris. Pee Wee, 2 touchdowns. You've played with the best in Doug Flutie. Now you've connected with Jeff Garcia. Tell me about him.
Jeff is unbelievable, man. He's a young quarterback, and we had a lot of faith in Jeff, and he can get the job done without Doug, Doug's situation.
To be fair, the Edmonton secondary was decimated by the disqualification to Rogers, the 2 injuries to Hagan and Brown. Were they in disarray out there?
They had a running back playing free safety, and they had a Canadian cornerback, and we just had to take advantage of that. I mean, it was like taking candy from a baby. I mean, it was stealing.
Yeah. Were they broken at any point in this game? What was the play, do you think, that maybe sealed your win?
The second, after halftime, we came in and we just said we just got to tackle more, deep balls, and which we did. And we could have connected a couple times, but Jeff overthrew a couple of our guys, me and Terry. But we just had to be patient, and he came in throwing the ball very well.
Jeff Garcia told us a few moments ago he's full of confidence because of this performance today. I would think you and your other teammates would be confident in him leading you now, as he must, through the rest of the season.
We had confidence in him last week when he threw like for 400 yards against Birmingham, and then came in today and threw for 5-something. I mean, that's incredible as a young quarterback, as I said before. And I mean, we got a lot of faith in him. We just got to stay with him every day.
All right, Peavy, congratulations on your 2 touchdowns and your big win here this afternoon over the Edmonton Eskimos. The final score, 51-26. It's the 3rd Labor Day win in a row for the Stampeders. Another Battle of Alberta, a war of attrition for the Eskimos as they suffer big on defense. Let's go now to Toronto and Scott Oak in part 2 of our Labor Day doubleheader.